Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. How are we doing? It is time. It's time for a new trial. I've been keeping this one a little bit close to the vest. Defense made a motion for a mistrial. Prosecutor was up to some fuckery. Potentially damaging evidence, no basis for it. The judge specifically said, do not ask that question. Do not use that as evidence. She walked right down the path and asked the question. It may be over on Tuesday morning. Batman Bruce Wayne bitch snitch. Gerald Brooks, your constitution does not apply to me because I'm a sovereign citizen, a traveler on the land. I'm the Moorish Empire or whatever, bitch snitch. Because they're so fucking absurd. If you want to be a sovereign citizen, just do yourself a favor first. Go to YouTube here and just get every sovereign citizen that's ever been before. Find me one that won. God dang, you're right. Don't go down this. It's not the path. Don't have time for stupidity. Some clever dick on the internet didn't find the great loophole in all of the world's law. Bitch snitch. God dang, you're right. God dang, you're right. Traveler on the land. God dang, you're right. Moorish Empire. Traveler on the land. Bitch snitch. Moorish Empire. God dang, you're right. Traveler on the land. Bitch snitch. Late evening U.S. people. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, everyone. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whoever you're doing it with, however good it feels, and however many times you plan on doing it. I'm just glad you're doing it here with me, Legal Vices, on my little old channel I like to call Legal Vices. I am happy and thankful and grateful to all of you that we hit our mark of 67,000 subscribers overnight. You all responded to my request. I was hoping to get to that point by the end of the week. You got me through it just in a couple of hours. Thank you so much for all the support. All of you that are here, all of you that will come back later and watch the replay, whatnot. I'm grateful for your subscription, and I'll hope to keep it. Let's hope YouTube doesn't decide you don't want it and take it away from you without even asking them to. All right, we got a lot of ground to cover today. Ground, bitch snitch. Grounds. I like that intro. We'll probably shift away from using it for the intro because it's a bit long for an intro, but we'll put it towards the end probably. Anywho, we're going to be covering the police interrogation of Zachariah Anderson. I've purposely not watched this because I want to respond to it raw with all of you watching here. And so I don't know what to expect. I've stayed away from any reviews or comments about it. So we're going to go into this blind. I don't know how many of you have watched it. I haven't. So no spoilers, please, to anyone in the chat that hasn't watched it. But let's take care of the housekeeping stuff, and then I'll talk a little bit about what's going to happen while we watch the video, and then we'll get into gear. First of all, again, like and subscribe. Hey, now that we're 67,000, let's slowly inch forward. Let's keep going until we get to 68, then 69, then 70,000. That would be awesome. So hit the like and subscribe. If you are subscribed, just please do me a little special favor and Go down there and make sure you're still subscribed. I got a couple of more mails and messages overnight again from people saying, I didn't think that was real. I thought you were just being a whiner because people were unsubscribing. No, and they said, oh no, but then I found out that I'm not subscribed to you, and I'm not subscribed to a bunch of other people that I was subscribed to. It is actually a thing. YouTube just unilaterally deletes subscriptions for whatever reason. So just double check, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not, I hope you'll do me the honor of subscribing to my channel before all said and done here. And then come over here and take our like and subscribe poll. After you've hit the like button, of course, you've got 208 people here now and 118 likes. So about 100 of you haven't done your job. That's 50%. Get down there, hit that like button. We're gonna be a couple minutes here before we get into the video, so you got plenty of time. Doesn't cost you anything to like or subscribe. And then take our little like and subscribe poll. Today's like and subscribe poll is, who is the shadiest character in this case? Would it be District Attorney Gravely? Would it be Sadie? Would it be Judge Headwound? Judge Schrader, he of the wounded head? Or would it be the potential victim? Put victim in quotation marks because we don't even know if he's a victim. We don't know. So we'll pop in about an hour, take a little breather, and we'll see where that poll sits. And we're gonna handle the interrogation video kind of like we handle a normal trial. There'll be a few more stops than normal. Normally, the trial you can't stop; you just have to go through. But if we need to, we'll stop. We'll talk about some things, and any of the super chats. And again, super chats aren't required, but they're always graciously and gratefully accepted. But it will guarantee that you get your question, comment, statement, whatever it is, read and responded to. Otherwise, I'll try to just follow along with chat as best I can while watching the video and responding as necessary. But the super chats are the way to guarantee that whatever you say gets put up and gets responded to. So we'll read the super chats at normal natural breaks, or if we get a bunch piled up, then we'll stop and go through them. So, but we'll put them up on the screen, and then we'll talk about them later. So, all right, that's that, and I think that's just about everything. Tomorrow we'll have O.J. Simpson for our normal Thursday. It's the closing arguments, Johnny Cochran, and then Friday will be Aguilar Mendez, the Guatemalan 18-year-old boy who just had his 19th birthday yesterday. He's been in custody for about 9 months. He was in custody. He's been in custody without bail for about 9 months. His 19th birthday was yesterday, and we're going to be going over his bond motion and possibly an additional motion on Friday. So we'll talk about that then. All right. So now as we move into the main focus of the evening, which is the Zachariah Anderson case, a very, very quick overview for those of you that may not know this case. And I assume most of you are here watching because you are familiar with the case. But just in case you're not, in an absolute simplistic way, because there is so much shit going on in this trial, Zachariah Anderson was convicted of stalking and murdering his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. Okay, so that sounds pretty normal as far as, murder cases go. But the problem with this, and the problem that I have and that most of you have, is it was a conviction based on quite literally little or no evidence. It was only the testimony of a few people and virtually no scientific evidence. There was none of Zachariah Anderson's DNA found at the crime scene. There was none of the victim. Guess we have to backtrack a little bit more. They never found a body. There was never a body. In the opening statements, the prosecution described the house as a sea of blood. That literally there was a piece of carpet missing from the living room. They said literally every surface other than the space where the carpet was missing was covered in blood. They made it sound like one of the worst crime scenes ever. But when they showed the pictures, there was like a little pool of blood where this carpet used to be. There was a little trail of blood. There was a little bit of blood on the back of a sofa where it looked like someone had been, conked in the noggin or fell back and hit their noggin on a chair and then kind of went and sat down on the sofa. And that's it. That's all we know.
So there was this alleged, according to the district attorney's case, this battle raged through the house, from out in the hall into the house, but not a single fragment, not a single trace of Zachariah Anderson's DNA was found at the crime scene. Not a single trace of DNA was found at Zachariah Anderson's house, on his property, on the tree farm, anywhere. The only evidence that they really had, which again wasn't really evidence as far as I'm concerned, they had his van, his worker's van. He would kind of demolish houses and things like that, doing the construction work on the house. And every construction worker I know that has a van, literally, this is no joke, they tear out the carpet. There's like, there's a piece of carpet missing, which they made it sound like, he'd cut out a patch of carpenters. It's the entire back third of this utility van, which is absolutely normal for construction workers. But there's little brown spots all over the place inside this vehicle. They tested every single one of these brown spots. None of them came back as positive for potential blood. Not even positive for blood. They didn't even come back as potential blood. They found at the very, very back of the van, of the truck, or whatever you want to call the van, they found a speck that was literally a pinprick. A pinprick-sized head, like a pinprick-sized little brown spot that matched all the other brown spots, and they were concerned that there was not enough of that brown spot to test for both blood and DNA. So all the other stuff turned out no blood, but this one, they decided that if they tested it for blood, they would destroy it. So they better take this teeny tiny, almost microscopic spot of blood and test it for DNA. So we can say that there was no blood, no scientifically proven blood anywhere found inside Zachariah Anderson's van. And the person that he's accused of murdering and has now been convicted of murdering was over 6 feet, and I think he was 270 pounds. And supposedly Zachariah Anderson, who was much smaller, somehow carried this guy out, threw him in the back of the van, drove around with the body in the van for a day or so before disposing of it somewhere. But there's not a single speck of blood anywhere in that van. So they took that tiny little spot and they tested it for DNA. And the best they could say was that the DNA came from a single male. And they could not exclude the victim. They didn't say they could include the victim in the pot. They said they couldn't exclude him from a possible contributor. That was it. That was all they could say. And the jury convicted them on it. There's so many other things. You need to, guys. I haven't seen if you're putting up the Zachariah Anderson webpage in the chat. If you're not, please do that. The mods will be throughout the show putting up the Zachariah Anderson webpage. If you need more information, if you need more facts about the case, if you need to see how much more, that is such a tiny, minuscule portion of the bullshittery that went on in this trial. It's ridiculous. Their one main witness was a prison snitch who said that he shared a cell with Zachariah Anderson, and Zachariah Anderson confessed to the murders in his sleep. Yes, he was talking in his sleep, according to the prison snitch. It wasn't even, we had this discussion, or I heard him I overheard him telling somebody else. No, prison snitch, Munch the prison snitch, he said we were cellies, and he was screaming in his sleep, "Die, motherfucker, die!" And then when he woke up, I said, I confronted him and said, "Did you do it?" He jumped down, he looked me in the eye and said, "Yes, I did it." And they nicknamed him Superman in the prison because he could carry this big body. They nicknamed him Houdini because he could make bodies disappear. This was hands down 54 years of age, been doing this law stuff for nearly 30 years. And that was the absolute worst prison confession from a prison snitch I have ever heard. And I hope to God it's the worst I ever do hear in my entire life. Hands down, that was the worst prison snitch testimony ever. And there's so much more, but the jury did convict him, and the appellate process is underway. And now we've got a copy of the interrogation video for Zachariah Anderson, and we're going to watch that today. And I want to warn everybody, my position from day one of covering this trial on the first day that opening statements were given, I don't know if he did it or not. And frankly, I don't care if he did it or not. I have zero ponies in this particular circus. No, ain't got no horses in this rodeo. What I do care about is what I consider to be a horrific miscarriage of justice. There is absolutely no way in my mind that he was convicted based on the prosecution proving beyond a reasonable doubt that he committed the murders. So I don't know whether he did or not. I don't care whether he did it or not. If he did it, fine. But even if he did it, I do not think he should have been convicted, because the state flat out did not meet their burden of proof, and there is nothing you can say that would change my mind to go, oh, I guess they did prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. Nothing. And that's where I have the problem. It's the cliched saying, but it is true, that 100 guilty people should go free rather than one person that's innocent be convicted. This should have been a finding of not guilty. And it was so egregious that I think that Judge Hedwoon, Judge Schrader should have stepped in and overturned the jury's verdict. I mean, it was that egregious. Or at least declared a mistrial. I mean, it was that bad. So I'm gonna watch this. And if you're a huge, I don't care what anybody says, there's no way Zach Anderson did this, you might be upset by some things I have to say. I don't know what I'll have to say yet until I watch it, but because I don't know if he did it. Maybe this will change my mind as to, okay, just to be fair, I will tell you, I don't think he did it. I don't know whether he did it or not. I don't think he did it, but I can't prove it one way or the other. I just know they did not prove, this prosecution did not prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, and that's who has to prove it. Maybe this will change my mind. Maybe I'll go, okay, listening to this, there's absolutely no way he could have done it. Or I could listen to this and go, yeah, well, by God, I think he did it. But even if I come to that conclusion, I still think he should have gone free based on the way the prosecution mishandled and handled their case. So that's my disclaimer. So, don't kill the messenger. I'm just going to play the video and I'll give you my honest, unfiltered opinion, one way or the other. And if you disagree, we can talk about it after in super chats, whatever. But let's see, because I have no idea. I have no idea where this is going. I've seen about 30 seconds of the beginning just to see what's going on. All right, we have a couple of super chats already locked and loaded here, so let's talk about them. Unhung Hero says KPD is pretty shady too. I assume you mean the Kenosha Police Department. If so, yes. Yes, you only get 4 choices. You only get 4 choices in the polls. And Unhung Hero with another $2 super chat. On to 69,420 subs. LFG, yeah, let's hope YouTube doesn't do that. Let's keep above. Oh, 69. I get it. Sorry. 67,000 is where I'm at. I read that as like 67,420, but 69,420. I get it. But if we get close to that, someone remind me, and I'll try to screenshot it. I'll try to screenshot it if we get to that point. Sorry, it took me a while to figure that one out. All right, folks, let's get into this. We've got 337 people here watching and 206 likes. The 130 of you or so that haven't hit the like button, repent, get down there and do that. All right, and also one thing as we bring this up, I understand that the raw video was taken and that David from MLS Law edited it to take out references to Zach's daughter and some irrelevant, unimportant statements about her through the course of the interrogation, and pauses and whatnot. Now, and also at the bottom of his screen, he has his logo there, and I don't want to have any misunderstandings that I'm somehow affiliated with with his network or whatnot. So I don't want to give any wrong impression. So we'll just cover it up with a little law racks. But thanks to David for making this. Thanks to David for making this public, and for putting in the hard work to do this. So let's pull the video up here. Where is we? We are. Give me a second. It'll take me a little bit here to do this. All right, that's our little logo there. See, look like me. Anyway, righto, here we go. Boom. This is the interrogation room, and we're gonna hit play, and we're gonna see where the chips fall. Unfortunately, there is no closed captions for this. This is raw video. And so just figure out some way to listen to it. I'll listen to make sure that I'm not completely drowning it out. me Popsicle, MLS law never gave my cup that I won. Well, you should take that up with MLS, because he should give that to you. But who am I to speak? Because I still haven't ordered Urza's "Give It a Whirl" mug, and she designed it. I promise I'll do it. I'm so slow. I'm so sorry. Let he was without sin. Hey, Jules, what's up? And Gigi's here. Lock Hong Express. All right, this is good. I can't say hi to everybody that's here because there's 350 of you. So let's push play and get on with this, and I'll make comments as we go along.
Put that back chair, please.
Sure.
No, you want a glass of water or anything?
Yeah, I am thirsty. Please help me.
Yep. Just have a seat. It's a technical.
Okay, he doesn't look too stressed out or
Thank you.
nervous about anything. Okay, this is one of the oldest police tactics in the book. They bring you in. They say, "Yeah, can we get you some water? Can we get you something?" Or, "Oh, I got to talk to someone. I'll be right back." And they leave you there. They leave you there for a very long time to watch you, to see what you do, to see how you react, where you're looking around. Are you nervous? So this is right out of the Central Interrogation Handbook here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so leave him there a little bit longer by himself. Great.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah.
Well, I'm Detective Korea. This is Detective Boyd Anderson.
Come on, man.
Good area in Ocean Police Department, obviously.
Yeah, picking that up. Thank you guys.
All right, just before we get going, can you spell your first name for me?
Sure. ZACH.
Yep.
ARIAH.
All right, and the middle initial?
J.
Right. Go ahead, Zachariah.
That's fine. Okay.
And your last name, sir.
Anderson.
Well, I mean, we all know. We all know what I'm going to say. Nicola Maxwell in the house. Haven't seen Nicola for a long time. Welcome, girl. That's not what I was going to say. What I was going to, but I said it. Lawyer. There is no lawyer here. I don't know what the conversation was before they got him in the room. There's should I have a lawyer? Nah. You don't ask, should I have a lawyer or do I need a lawyer? Because they'll always say, well, no. They'll try to convince you not to have one. If you're in a room with 1 or 2 cops and that door gets shut, don't say anything. Get a lawyer. Your only things you should say is, I am exercising my right to remain silent. I will not speak unless my lawyer is here. Please let me contact a lawyer. That's it. That's it. I'm actively asserting my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. I would like my lawyer present before I answer any questions. It's water under the bridge. That's the problem with these interrogations. I mean, and not having a lawyer with you is a huge strike. That's a huge strike. They don't care about you. They'll try to tell you they're your friend. They're not. They're not your friend. They're not there to help you, regardless of what they say. You don't get shut into a police room like this with someone who's trying to help you. At very best, they're trying to help a victim or a victim's family. They ain't trying to help you.
EERSON.
All right, and your birthday, Zach? And then your current address. Helen Road.
Road, yeah,
I'm sorry, what was the zip code?
53092.
All right, phone number? All right. Any other addresses? You get mail letter or anything like that? PO boxes?
No,
Nothing
no,
like that?
just that one's fine.
All right, it's your only address. Correct.
Yeah, I mean, I might be moving soon, but I don't know yet. Just depends.
All right, Zach. Currently, you are in custody. As you're aware, we're conducting an investigation. Prior to that, us talking to you, I want to read to you your waiver of constitutional rights.
So if there was any question as to whether or not he was under arrest or a suspect, that is now out the window. They are reading him. They've already said you're in custody. Now we're reading you your rights. Now they're reading him his rights. And by God, please, people, if there's one thing you take away from my channel or other people's channel from watching all of this, well before they get to the point where they say if you're entitled to have a lawyer present, you ask for it. And if you haven't asked for one by the time you get to that point, for God's sake, do it then. You may not, you may be in there for, some neighbor's cat missing or something. Get a lawyer. I know it costs money, but do it. Do it. Please do not ever find yourself in a situation like this, where you're sitting there being interrogated by 2 policemen who are reading your rights until you're in custody without a lawyer. Just don't do it.
Okay.
It basically states that you, Zachariah Anderson, have been advised of your rights by myself, Detective Correa, the Kenosha Police Department.
Sure.
Who has informed you that you have the right to remain silent and to refuse to answer questions or make a statement. Any answers or statement you make may be used in evidence against you. You have the right to consult with and have present your attorney.
Do it.
Before and
Do
during
it,
the
people.
interrogation.
Get your
Not
lawyer
a court
there.
Attorney. You have the right to ask for a court-appointed attorney before being interrogated. You also have the right to stop or answer questions at any time that you wish. Do you understand the rights that I currently have read to you?
Yeah, we saw.
Okay. So we're investigating a case of stalking involving your children's mother, Sadie.
Sure.
All right. So that's what we want to talk to you about.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Sorry, I know I was muted now. Again, I was muted because I stopped this and I checked my volume, so I had to turn off the microphone so you didn't hear the volume coming through my phone. So, yeah. And then I clicked the camera off button instead of the mic on button, but we got where we are. So, yeah, I know I'm back. I clicked the button off and on. I know I was still muted when you said that. Zach Aspen Fallen says, Zach with short hair, though. Come on, ladies. We're presumed ladies, as I said before when you couldn't hear me. But the reason I stopped it was to say that, yes, Zachariah Anderson's brother, Solomon, who's here, he passed the video on to me. And I also said hi to Zenith Anderson, who is here as well, apparently. So thank you. Thank you very much. Let's get back into this. No, this wasn't the button on the side of the mouse. This was the mute and stop camera buttons on the bottom of my screen. It was just me. Yes, Jack Matt, he was arrested at this point. They said you're in custody, and then they read him his rights. There is no question he is under arrest at this point.
Can you kind of tell me what's going on with, like, what's up with your guys' relationship? What's been happening, going on?
Well, so we were together for like 12 years. And about 6 months ago, she flipped her script pretty hard and went from being, primary caretaker of our kids to barfly, And so she, to my account, has picked up about 4 boyfriends. She had made comments to that effect to our daughter, and she's been chased around with whatever guys, to my understanding, will buy her some blow, and that's how she's been spending her time. They reopened the bars in Wisconsin last week, Friday or whatever. My kids were at the bar 2 days in a row, So,
okay.
I submitted for custody of the kids on the 8th, retained an attorney, and submitted for custody of kids on the
May 8th?
May 8th. And then she countered that and filed on the 13th or whatever. And she said a list of that.
So the allegations are that Sadie was bar hopping after they broke up and whatnot. She was good mother until about six months before this. Then she started bar hopping and he's doing blow, and the kids are at the bar, and he didn't like it, so he files for custody very, very soon before this alleged event happened.
Accusations about me stalking her and otherwise. And I have gone to check some information on her. And I have looked to verify some things like whether or not she's going to the bar and that kind of thing. But really just for the purpose of the custody battle, because it's just going to be a mess. And what I can tell you is, to my understanding, she, like around Christmas time, so we have twin boys that were born on Christmas Eve, and it's supposed to be my day with the kids, my Christmas with the kids. And
This previous one?
Yeah. And I went over there and our daughter wasn't there. And I said, all right, like we went and picked up a Christmas tree, and we went to have set up the Christmas tree at her house because she has primary placement of the kids, and so put it all together and that kind of stuff. I came over in the morning. All the kids were supposed to be there. Daughter's not there. And I'm like, maybe about 11:30, like asking her, are you going to go get, this is supposed to be my Christmas. Like, the boys want to open their presents. It's, almost the afternoon already or whatever. And she gets all shitty with me, shut your bitch mouth and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, supposed to have the day with the kids. This is our Christmas, right? Like, you give the kids tomorrow for Christmas Day itself, but what are you shitting on the day for or whatever? And she tries to hit me with the broom in the face, just spins around, tries to clown me with the broom in the face, and turns into this big old exchange between her and I. She shoves me into the door like 4 times, and then screaming, runs outside, calls the cops. Cops show up, they arrest me, and I'm like, what the fuck are you arresting me for? She put her hands on me. I mean, I made fun of her or whatever, but talked some shit, hollered back and forth, but I didn't do anything to her. So they hauled me away, like, all right.
What agency was that?
Germantown.
Okay.
So go see the DA, tell the DA, hey, this is what happened, whatever. It's not the first or second occurrence. Long story short, happens again. She does the same thing. Cops show up, and I tell the cops, I put my hands on her. They arrest me again and haul me away. And I'm just like, it's fucking ridiculous, just because she said whatever she said. She said I'd push her at one point at the front door. I'm like, no, she turned around, ran into her own fucking Christmas decorations and tripped her damn self and spilled her shit. I didn't touch her. I didn't step forward. I didn't do shit. I just stood there and watched her make a mess of herself.
Okay, for me, he's coming off very, very relaxed and very honest at this point. He's he's making complaints that any father, I think, would make about an ex who was acting this way. She's screwing with it with his visitation. She's not happy with it. She's being shitty to him. And then he all this that happened at Christmas. And I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. But if you make false accusations against your child's father or your child's mother, just so they can't see the kids, or just for some vendetta or vindictive reason you have, you're an animal. You're subhuman. And we also see something, again, let's assume what he's saying is true. You're seeing something that's very common. Part of this believe all women nonsense, that women never do anything wrong and we should believe everything they say without question.
And that's been kind of the thing. It's like, no matter what happens, no matter what goes on, she accuses me. Even today, as an example, or last night, if you guys get my cell phone, I'll show you how ludicrous it is. She accused me of hacking her phone, her text messages, and her emails. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And she's like, you know things that people shouldn't, which just my lingering suspicion is that she's doing blow. I don't know for sure. I haven't been able to verify that, but just on her behavior and, I've known her.
Okay, that's a very interesting thing. If he has just murdered somebody, drove around with their body in his truck for a while, disposed of them, if he's just done this, you're not likely to offer the cops your phone. If you did do that and you offered the cops your phone to look through, that ain't smart. But so I mean, that to me, I think seeing his relaxed pose, the way he's speaking, I don't hear any tension in his voice. And he's actually offering to let the cops look through his phone so they can see the stuff that she's doing. That's definitely a tick in favor of Zach's truthfulness that I can get behind.
12 years, and it's a hardship. So huge difference. So anyway, she makes a bunch of accusations, and she says, well, you know how to program or something. You know how to hack my phone. I said, I don't even know any programming languages. I just worked for the phone company for a decade. That doesn't mean I know how to hack people's phones. Like, you don't understand what I did there, maybe, but it had nothing to do with that. Like, it's just crazy. But she's like, well, you know people. I'm like, nobody I'm going to ask to jeopardize their job over this bullshit. Like, what are you talking about? So she's just got some acute paranoias over shit that I can't make sense of, and so I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. But as far as stalking is concerned, no, we both see other people. I specifically, when I was arrested tonight, had a girl over and I was spending time with a different girl. So I think maybe she is a little mixed up in, what she thinks or feels about me, and that's fine. But really, at the end of the day, whoever's getting her high is more important. So I don't think, I don't think it's like that at all.
So what else has she been throwing out besides hacking her phone?
Well, that was the latest one.
I guess over the last 3 months or so.
Most of the accusations came like in the last month, really. But she said that I was sitting out following her. I went to scoop the boys out of it. I was cleaning my van. I had my cell phone in my pocket and I was listening to music. And she pulled in with the kids. And I went to pull the boys out of the car seats or whatever and give them a hug. And there were boys' sweatshirts were down in the middle of the seats or whatever. And I leaned in there. And either I picked him up, my son, when I picked him up, he likes to turn the light on by shaking the phone, took it out of my pocket, or when I leaned forward, I dropped the phone in her car or something like that. But I picked up the sweatshirts and I took the sweatshirts and I couldn't find the phone. And my daughter will tell you, I searched for the phone for like 3 days. I had to call the carrier to figure out what happened to the phone. And she said, well, you were stalking me, you were tracking me, you put the phone in there on purpose. And I said, no, the fuck I didn't. No, the fuck I didn't. It fell out of my pocket. It felt like the shirt that I was wearing, the pocket's not that deep. It fell out before. It must have fallen out when I leaned in to get the kid's sweatshirt, or maybe, I don't know. I didn't see because I was trying to reach the sweatshirts in the first place. So No, the fuck I didn't. I called the carrier. Don't make the accusation. But inevitably, the way she sees it is I'm stalking her. And I said, you know, honestly, I know you're going out with other dudes. You brag about them. You didn't brag about one guy. You bragged about 4. You know, like, go. What the fuck? Truth is, I cheated on her some long time ago. She's never, it poisoned the relationship. You know, she never got over it. And, you know, she's moved on her own way. She started hanging out with a friend of hers from high school. And I think, you know, maybe got drug into a bad situation, all pun intended, I guess, drug into a bad situation. And, you know,
Don't joke.
Right. Stop her from it. I mean, I love her, she's the mother of my kids, but, you know, it's, I don't know. I'm no man to stop the train wreck, I guess.
Okay, again, I mean, you know, I see the people in chat saying, stop talking. Well, he's not going to stop talking. This is the video. And I mean, this is what the police are doing. This is part of their techniques. They get you to give these lengthy answers. The more you say, the more they have to pick apart. And depending how you believe this, I mean, you can be saying, okay, this to me seems to corroborate his side of the story. This seems to corroborate what he's saying. Or if you look at it from the way the cops are looking at it, oh yeah, now he's making excuses for how he lost his phone, how he was in the car, making excuses for the physical abuse, whatnot. So just whatever, how you view whatever he's saying through whatever lens you have. So the best way to avoid this is don't say anything. Then there's nothing for them to misinterpret. But, you know, it's all in the past, and there's nothing we can say to stop him talking right now. Unfortunately. But we can look at the things that we probably shouldn't do. But this is the first stage of the interrogation. Is you put the person at ease. You ask questions that really don't have a lot to do with the reason he's sitting there. And then they have what's called the READ techniques, REID, the READ investigation techniques. It's like a 9-step playbook for interrogating people. And you'll know it starts because step 1 is they'll tell him that, well, you know, the evidence that we have points to you as the suspect. And I mean, they may actually have already started that with the, you know, it tells about the stalking thing. Your ears. So we can already say that they've moved. I think that we can safely say they've moved into the first step about the stalking charges. They haven't brought up murder yet. So I assume that's going to happen. But you know, you tell them that the evidence points to you for whatever the stalking in this case. And then you give them an opportunity at the beginning to explain what really happened. And let's see when they move into the second step. The second step is the cops will try to shift the blame away from the suspect, you know, to somebody else. They'll say, okay, well, you know, tell us about something else. You know, there's, you know, what is there anybody else that would do this? What's the next news? Is there anybody else? Tell us about somebody else that could have done this. Who else could have done this? And then they'll allow him to develop other theories.
All right.
Well, so we spoke with her. She's making a few other accusations against you.
No.
Okay. It was night last month, early morning hours, and you showed up at her house.
I went and bought a new couch. She told me I could come back and pick up the stuff out of the garage just to let her know. And I let her know, and then she got all shitty. We had a good conversation. And yeah, there were some tears or whatever, but that's it. Not because.
What time was this?
I don't know
What
what
day
is happening with Harper.
Midnight, 1
I
o'clock,
don't know.
shit, maybe even later when I got done moving the couch in. I had to go all the way out to Waukesha to pick it up. So
Yeah, that's what I
Was
said.
it-
That's what I said, Bradley. They are. I think they've reduced them to about 5 now at this point.
No. I picked up the couch at like 10 at night or something like that.
Like eBay or Craigslist or something, or from a place?
Yeah, Craigslist. And then I took it back to my place, and then I was waiting on my cousin to come help me load it into my house because I can't carry a couch by myself. The guy sold it to me, whatever. And I told her, well, maybe I'll just swing back by tonight and pick it up and bring our daughter her skateboard or whatever. And I did, and I just, you know, knocked on the door and I said, hey, you know, this is what's going on. And it wasn't, I don't know, I mean, it was pretty straightforward. I told her it was gonna be late as shit, and she was like, well, that's fine. I said, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, if I'm up, I'll do it, you know, if not, you know, whatever.
Anybody in her house that night?
Not that I know.
Nobody?
I mean, the kids, I would assume, I guess.
Was there another night that you went over there when you had the kids?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about that night.
There was another vehicle in the driveway. She was claiming that she wasn't seeing anybody and she just needed some space for us to get back together. Our daughter had gone through her cell phone and got a bunch of messages.
Tell me about those. We'll go step by step there, man.
All the messages my daughter read through, I don't know exactly because our daughter likes to fabricate some information. But in short, mom's seeing somebody else, telling him that she loves him and all that kind of stuff. And I was saying, you know, you're cutting me along, pushing me along, you know, trying to tell me like we have a future, or that like things are a possibility, but you just want some space. You're upset after our last argument or whatever, and it's not true, you know. And so she kept insisting, oh, that's not the case or whatever. I love you, all this kind of shit. And so I did go over there, you know, and found out that she was seeing somebody else. And okay, you know.
Where were the kids?
With me.
Sure.
Yeah, I loaded them into the car and took them with me.
Okay. How did you know there was someone else there?
Premonition, had a weird feeling when I talked to her, you know.
And this is something that came up during the trial as well, but weird feeling, premonitions, cops don't go for that. That's an unfortunate thing to say. And I'm sorry it was said, but we do have premonitions. We do have weird feelings, but that ain't going to help you out in this kind of a situation.
Is this something you've done before?
No, that was the impression that I got. That's something else.
What gave you that?
Just the way she talked, the way she behaved, you know, real eager to get home, you know, like something else was going on. If I remember right, it was like she didn't have time to, was that a different night?
How old are your kids, man?
The twin boys were 4.
And your other daughter?
12 now.
What time was this?
9 at night, 10 at night. I don't remember the exact time.
So you loaded your 4-year-olds up?
But,
Out of premonition.
Yeah. I knew something funny was going on.
And I guess why would it matter?
For me, it gives me a definitive answer whether she's lying or not, you know. I mean, this was, I don't know how long, weeks ago now.
Did she invite you over?
She has, yeah.
Did she that night?
No.
Okay. Have you ever done this before? Went over out of premonitions?
No.
And what if I told you that I have reason to believe that the 4-year-old went with you that night?
I don't know. Why would you have reason to believe they weren't with me?
Because we spoke with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one good, but 2 of them, she said that they were there. That's goofy.
I don't know. She really doesn't have a reason to lie to us.
Says you. I mean, I kind of know my daughter, and she doesn't have a reason to lie about a lot of shit. I mean, she just did a whole.
Well, I'll tell you this. Most of the conversation that we had with her,
Sure.
she chose your side.
Okay, see now we're here into this thing. I'm not on board with this wholly. I said relying on premonitions and things is not something the cops are going to buy. You know, you want to catch her doing things so that you can bolster your position in upcoming family court. Like the same shit she's doing, trying to make you look like a bad person. By calling the police every time, setting you up for the police to get called, even when you're dropping off kids, picking up furniture, whatnot. I can see him. Like I said at the beginning, stalking I can probably agree with. The conviction for stalking. Anything beyond that, I mean, there's no way that this proves murder. There's no way it even hints at murder. So I don't. All right, let's continue.
Right,
most of it,
okay.
okay? And I think she was being honest with me, or she wouldn't have chose your side. She would have made you look like the bad dude the whole time, but she didn't. She didn't. She made you sound like a good dad.
Yeah.
And really had nothing negative to say for the most part.
Okay, and now again, talking about the read techniques. This is step 3. You handle denials. Handling denials is the 3rd step in this. You know, you address them, and we can read right. This is from the read.com from the guy that developed them. You address the suspect's challenges, addressing the suspect's request to see evidence, tactics to gain trust, tactics to change the suspect's perception. So you want to minimize the denials and go, well, no, and that's gonna segue into step 4, which is overcoming objections and handling the logical challenges to it.
Which led me to believe that she's telling me the truth. She doesn't have a reason to lie to me. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. And I'll give you some examples, okay? So, so she just got in trouble. There's a big sting. She just got in trouble for putting.
Okay, this is something that obviously David has muted out because it's talking about something that Zach's daughter did.
And no shit, the other Monday I stopped over by Sadie's house a couple weeks ago now. And I'm talking to her, and Sadie comes storming out. Now, most of what she said, you could confirm. Most of what she said, you could verify. But for whatever reason, she tries to lie a little bit to make things look a certain way, and it's not true. So I hear you, and like a lot of it's very credible, and it's tough for me as a dad to try and figure out, but there are some things that it's just like, why wouldn't you just tell the truth about that? I'll give you another one. The last 2 times she's gone over to my dad's house, she keeps stealing my little sister's cell phone.
She got in trouble for that.
Yeah, they can track it, like they look at where it goes. Why are you taking it? It doesn't matter. No, well, but I didn't. And she tells a lot of truth and then some lies when she wants to try and curtail.
She got punished for that one, right? What was the punishment?
Right.
Anything else? You guys take anything away?
Well, the cell phone.
Which one?
Good
One
question.
she took, or?
Well, that got returned to my sister, so of course that one. And then as far as her, when was that? Did she have her cell phone then? I think she had her cell phone. Her mom got her a phone for her birthday, and so her
The
phone.
25th, right?
Yeah. So her phone got taken away. Right?
Okay. Speaking of her birthday, let's talk about that day.
Sure.
Okay.
I got the kids that morning. We go up and down the trail, skateboard. We go up and down the trail, practice riding the skateboard. Or
Sadie was there for that.
yeah, she stopped by. My brother was there. My sister was there.
Good day.
Yeah, it was a little overcast. Wish there was a little bit more sunshine, but it was by and large a good day. And then Sadie invited us all back to open presents at her house, so we all went over there and ordered food. And then they screwed up the food orders, so we had like double order of food, big buffet. But generally speaking, a pretty good day.
Any conversations with Sadie, the two of you?
Yeah.
Privately?
Yeah, we had some words because my mom's been very promiscuous, and I have a lot of half siblings, right? And one of my sister had made a comment about mom being a whore or a slut, or I mean sleazy or something like that or whatever. And I'm like, damn, don't say that. Mom's standing right there. And Sadie got all pissed at me. So we did have a conversation then because she took offense to it, joking that it was her that my sister was talking about. But my sister doesn't know. My sister didn't have any information on Sadie. So
Where did kids stay that night?
with Sadie. Because they were with me the night before.
Okay. The night before that. Was the night before that the night all this went down where you went over and saw the man? The dude?
No, I don't believe so. I don't recollect what day that was, but I guess you got Sadie.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. That's what I'm asking.
Okay, sorry.
The whole incident involving the guy.
Yeah, I don't remember that was the night. I don't think so, but I don't remember exactly.
Well, like I said, I have no reason to doubt what he was telling me.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, I do, she's got a long track record as a Germantown police,
I
but
mean, she described some pretty great detail on what happened that night at the house,
Yeah.
as far as looking through the windows and all that. And she's claiming she got drugged along.
sure.
Why would she tell me that right after saying that you're a great dad and all that?
I don't know what she perceived she could get in trouble for, or, you know, whatever. So I don't.
Did you look through the windows of the house and see someone in there?
Yeah, the windows were open. I could look through windows and see, you know, there's no blinds covering the back door or anything like that.
Did you take pictures?
No,
Did you take video?
no,
Did you take audio recording?
no,
Nothing.
no. Say you had the same bullshit accusations. No, I
What did
didn't.
you hear?
Nothing. I heard, I mean, saw them laughing, saw them, you know, doing their thing or whatever the hell. And okay, they had the music on and they're doing whatever they do.
At any point, did you have in the window
You know, with me.
initially when you first got there with you?
I don't remember initially. What I know is at some point I was like, oh no, go back to the car.
Okay.
All right, now there's a couple of things that keep coming up here in chat that I wanted to talk about real quick here that are relevant to this. First of all, Tim Westland asks, why are police officers allowed to lie in the U.S.? I know they're not allowed to lie here in Sweden, and this technique has been proven to result in false confessions. Well, I mean, it's a very unsatisfactory answer, but quite literally the answer to that is because they can. That's the actual short answer. Just because they can. And yes, it does lead to false confessions, but the idea is, well, why would someone who's guilty confess? Even though, I mean, that we know that there are a myriad of reasons why they do. And Smopo Vienna, completely inviting and honest body language. I'm not a big body language guy, but nothing here says tension other than when these false accusations or what he considers to be false accusations are brought up against him, and he gets a little bit agitated, which is, I guess, would be to be expected. And by the way, I'm smoking the face hugger pipe that was you can see a little bit here in his profile picture. This face hugger pipe was sent to me by Smopo Vienna. Thank you so much for that. It smokes very, very well. Thank you very much, Smopo, for that. And Sue Magic, this is what leads into this. This is the comments that deal with this. Sadie let Zach do his laundry at her house. Sorry, not possible. She was stalked by Zach, in my opinion. And okay, and what Solomon says here, legalizes, you said you could agree that he was guilty of stalking. However, the statute indicates that Sadie had to have fear for her life or the kids' lives or experience extreme emotional distress. Correct. Let me clarify. I could understand from the evidence that was presented to the jury if the jury came back with a verdict of guilty on stalking. It would not have surprised me based upon the evidence that they presented or analyzed, and you know, juries can do things. But I don't even think it was stalking, because just for those reasons you said. I mean, she said several times, you know, even when when the alleged victim was threatening to go break his legs or whatnot, it's like, I'm not afraid of him. He doesn't. She specifically says that she was not afraid of him. She specifically said that she's not in fear. She just wants, you know, him to go away or whatever it was that she said. And again, you know, she's letting him do his laundry at her house, telling her to come over for dinners and whatnot, and the couch thing. So yeah, I don't think there was sufficient grounds to prove there was stalking. But what I meant to say was I could understand if a jury came to that conclusion based on the whole evidence that was presented to them. So I guess I should make that clear. Let's see. And Jen, hey Jen, how you doing? Yeah, basically no one condones Zach going over to Sadie's house. He shouldn't have done it, but he was trying to bolster his custody shit, exactly as she was trying to do. But you know, that's the thing. nobody says it was a great idea, but it's completely understandable, especially if this is boyfriend 4 or 5 in the past 6 months, and they're doing whatever it is they're doing, drugs, whatever, in the house, and then they see that through the window. Yeah, not because he was obsessed with her. Context is important. And that's absolutely correct there. Burning sensations. Do defense attorneys have a method of exposing the interrogation techniques when detectives are on the stand? Well, there's nothing wrong with the interrogation techniques. It's the standard interrogation techniques that the police use to get confessions. There's nothing inherently wrong with them. So I mean, there's not really much to expose. And oh yeah, Solomon also said the statute for stalking requires fear and emotional distress at the time of the event. This was not proven. I would agree, but again, I would say I could conceive of how it would be possible for a jury to arrive at that conclusion. I'm not saying that he did it. I mean, I could see the juries if they did, and I still wouldn't be entirely happy. And that's my call. I don't think he did it, but I could understand if a jury came back with the guilty of that charge.
Nope.
I mean, this is something she told me, and then this is something that a 13-year-old girl is not going to come up with on her own to get her dad in trouble.
I didn't place any cell phones anywhere. What happened originally was Sadie was slapped in the face to discipline her when she was yelling at her.
When was this?
Like a
What is
month and
this?
a half ago, and recorded it on her school laptop. She came to me and she told me, and I said, "Babe, Mom, no, wouldn't she slapping you?" She said, "Yeah, Dad, she slaps me when she yells at me." I said, "No, that's not like her at all. Like it's really not her character." But you recorded it. I'll give you the fucking recording. So she starts the recording. Mom's screaming at her, going, "Okay, okay." And she swings at her again, and she hits the laptop itself. And that to me, I don't know how many weeks ago now. I'd have to look at the video, or whatever. And at that point, I told her, nobody's going to believe me. Nobody's going to believe me. Mom tells the cops a story, they arrest me. Mom tells the cops a story, they arrest me. Nobody's going to believe me.
Who's going to believe you, Johnny? Go on, big man, Johnny. Go tell the world. Tell the world you're abused. Right. See, we see it here too. The cops are not going to believe the man.
On their arms and legs, so it looks like they're fighting. And at night when it's cold out, she takes the blanket away because they're playing, using the blankets and playing and stuff like that. And then she calls me and she's got the boys in the background, owie, 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 getting hit by Mom. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? The boys misbehaved. They're 4, 3, 4. I stand them up against the wall, give them a few minutes to think about it, I mean, flick them in the head or something like that, but nothing. I'm not hitting them. I'm not taking the blankets away at night. If I put my kids to bed, I just lay down.
What does this whole thing have to do with putting a cell phone somewhere that night?
So what happens is I give one of my old phones so she can record what's going on. So I have some evidence, and then so yes, there are cell phones, but.
Okay. So there he's essentially saying, I'm trying to get evidence for, which is parenthetically for the child custody issues that are coming up. Understandable. Here you take this phone and record her when she does these things. And hey, KT, thank you for being a new member. Thank you so much for that.
I didn't put a cell phone anywhere for that purpose. I gave it to my daughter to record when she's being abused or when the boys are being abused.
Okay, but again,
I didn't.
Oh, and see, this is the interesting thing is, Solomon's here saying the cops are both mandatory reporters. Every serious allegation of child abuse must be reported. The problem with this is they're not hearing it as allegations of child abuse. It's clear they've set their targets on him. Because they haven't even brought up the possibility of other people. They're focused completely on him, and they're probably looking at these things that he's saying as lies to cover up whatever it is he's done, to try to make it look like he didn't do this horrific crime they suspect him of committing. So they're probably just thinking he's lying as a way out, and they're not taking it as a serious allegation. They're taking it as a lie for him to excuse his behavior or get out of it. That's the problem. That's the problem with the cops.
Put a cell phone anywhere.
Yeah, that's my question.
Oh, they got his recordings.
No, I'm just saying,
It's a yes or no.
Well,
I
shit.
put a cell phone in my daughter's hands, if that's what you're getting at, but I did not put a cell
Well,
phone in her car.
There you go.
Mhm.
At my house.
I'm talking about that night and then at the house where you peeked through the window.
Intercourse,
No,
you
no, no,
cops.
no. I didn't give her a phone or have her record anything or anything along those fucking lines, man.
No cell phone was put anywhere, whether it recorded something or not?
No, dude, no. I told you, no. Her paranoia, her fear, whatever, that's on her. Whatever she told you or thought, she said the same bullshit to me. And I told her repeatedly, I did not record you.
And again, man, I have a young girl who loves her dad,
Yeah,
telling me things, crying, that are 100% true. Believe me, they're 100% true when I'm talking to her.
yeah. And she told school she had leukemia for 2 weeks. I mean, most of it's true, but then some things aren't. I did have a cell phone.
Dude,
I
this
did
is
have a
stuff
lot.
this is craziness for her to make this up and come up with it like that. I got a daughter the same age, man.
I hear you, but.
We're well into step 4 of the read technique here, the overcoming the
So, I'm
objections.
saying.
You're
I did
handling
have a
the
cell phone,
objections.
'cause you could turn the light on and see where the fuck you're walking, but I didn't record anybody.
So you had the cell phone out.
Yeah, I had a cell phone with me. I don't know that I had it out, but I did have a cell phone
Lights
with
on,
me.
right?
Well, I don't know if I don't remember how dark it was or if I pulled the cell phone out that night. So I would assume so, but
What's the cell phone number on that phone?
I don't know what offhand.
Is it your phone?
Is it your phone?
It's not my regular phone, no.
Oh, you got another one?
Yeah, yeah,
But you don't know the number of that one?
not offhand.
Where is it?
Probably in my possessions.
You have both of them on you?
Yeah.
So there's not gonna be any pictures or anything like that in there?
Fucking look, you guys, come on. I keep telling you, you're killing me here, you know?
Is there a passcode or anything on them?
No.
All right.
No,
Right, so
like I
he's-
said, I gave one of my daughters.
Again, this is a big piece of, I don't know if I got evidence or, I mean, this is a good confirmation that what he's saying up to this point is the truth. He's inviting them to go. If he's committed murder, it would be ridiculous to assume that he's going to invite them to go through his possessions, go through his phones, both of his phones, look through everybody's phones, check them out. That's not something that he would do if he had just done what they accused him of doing.
So she could record mom hitting the boys. Mom
In my
hitting her,
opinion.
you know, that kind of stuff. I have some recordings of those exchanges for that interest. I know that pisses Sadie off because she caught trying to record her, you know, maybe terrible going through her phone and all sorts of shit. And there's been tremendous complaints about violation of privacy by Sadie. But, you know, ultimately stalking, look, I verified whatever two-faced bullshit she was shoveling me about, you know, we're going to get Mickey. I just need some space. I'm still mad at you, all that, or whatever. No, you're seeing somebody else. And then once I called her out about that.
Who was it?
Huh?
Who was it?
Oh, some Mexican guy. I mean, if I understand, you know, I looked up his information or whatever, best I could figure out, but.
What's the name?
Jeannie showed his Facebook and his name is Junior. I don't remember the spelling on the last name, but I remember it started with a G.
All right, guess we should address the troll in the room here, or perhaps it's an innocent ignorance. Yeah, he's innocent. That's why the victim's blood was all over the van. Sorry, it didn't happen. Go find me a single frame of the trial. Go find a single 10 or 15 second or 2 seconds. Go find me anything in the trial where there was victim's blood found all over the van. Find where anything was proven to be or shown to be blood in the van. Show me what it doesn't exist. So whatever you're looking at, whoever you're reading, whatever you're watching, whatever line you're buying, that is demonstrably fault from the trial. There was no blood found in the van, let alone all over the van. And he was at Walmart getting bleach. He was getting Clorox wet wipes, like the Clorox disinfectant wipes. At the beginning of 2020, when everybody on earth was buying Clorox and other disinfectant wet wipes, along with a can of anchovies and some other foodstuffs and things for his business. So again, whatever you're reading, you're not addressing the facts. which were found in his burn pile. No, you're either deliberately trolling or you're horrifically misinformed, and this applies to anyone that follows this narrative, because this narrative is demonstrably across the board completely false. So better luck next time. That's the last we're going to talk about, the trolley things or the willful ignorance. And KDP, thank you so much for being a member for 15 months. I'm so glad I caught you live. You just seem so open about everything. Great content. Hey, I'm just sitting here in the driver's seat. That's all. But thank you so much for the support for 15 months. And again, Helen Jennison says, can someone tell me why the cops can lie in interrogation? Because they can is not an answer. No, that is literally the answer. Because they can. They're allowed to do it by law. It's not illegal for them to lie to you. So that is literally the answer. They can lie to you because they can. They're allowed to by law. The idea is, if you're, to try to trip you up or catch you and stick to your story if you didn't do it. But yeah, that's literally, there is no better answer. They are allowed to do it because they can. It's not illegal to do it.
Gina?
Jeannie, her grandmother, Sadie's dad's wife, showed what Sadie was talking about, bragging about he's a contractor, he's got 2 kids, and Jeannie showed the Facebook, so she knew who mom was dating, I guess, and then mom started saying that she was dating somebody at that point.
You know where he's from?
Down here.
When was this, when did this all go down? When did you find out about him?
Weeks ago. Shit, months ago, maybe weeks ago.
Who told you about him?
Going through the text messages, mom's talking to this guy, mom's talking Leo, John, Junior, all the guys mom's seen.
Those were confirmed names or are you just throwing names out there?
No, those are the names that I got out of mom's phone and told me. Now, which ones are true or not? Well, you think she's everything?
Leo?
What's up, Kaiser? We're glad you're listening.
Yeah.
Who else? What else is Junior?
And Junior, yeah. Were the 3 that I remember, yeah.
Did you figure out who Leo was?
I don't know if it's laziness. They've just made up their minds. They're not
Junior.
investigating. They're trying to get a
I
confession.
think Junior was the one
That,
that
to me,
showed
is
them
not
about.
investigation.
Yeah.
What did she say about him?
Yes, they're not
He's a
detecting
contractor,
anything.
Sadie, yeah, Sadie told Sadie told him about it.
Not to you.
Hmm?
Oh, she opened up
Yeah,
to
yeah,
you.
yeah.
You know where this guy lives or stays other than being here in Kenosha?
Down in Kenosha, yeah.
All right. You ever been down this way?
Yeah, I've been to Kenosha.
All right, for what?
Jen, that's a very interesting point. He didn't recognize that Leo and Junior are the same person. Good point. I never noticed that.
What about in the past year? Been out in the past year?
Yeah.
Past 3 months, past month?
I don't know. Down this way, generally hanging out with my little brother. We travel around to different friends' places and play board games and shit like that. I don't know if we've ever made it all the way down to Kenosha, but
So there's no reason why, like, your vehicle would have been picked up on a license plate reader or anything like that down this way? You're
not that I know.
not that you know of, or yes or no?
I don't know. I mean, other people borrow my cars too, man. I mean, shit. But no,
I didn't know that. I would never let someone borrow my car to go from Mequon to, hey, you mind if I take your car down to Kenosha?
It depends on where the jobs are, man. Working on houses and shit. So
Is that what you guys do? Or is that what you do?
Yeah.
Are you a general contractor as well?
They help my little brother. He is. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What type of work? Like house repair, roofing, like, or what?
Yeah. Renovation stuff.
Everything?
Yeah, general contractor. Right?
Oh, Tourette's, hope you stick around.
So have you guys had any jobs down here?
If you gotta
past couple
go,
months?
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, my little brother works everywhere, so I haven't personally worked down here, so.
Okay. Does your brother live with you?
No.
You just come and get your car sometimes?
Well, if his van is in the shop or whatever, we use the van. Like that.
All right. What kind of van do you have?
It's an old Caravan.
You know, approximate year?
2000s.
Color?
Black?
You're not sure?
It's like navy blue or black. I don't know. I don't drive it too much. I can drive the other.
Oh, okay. You know the plate on it?
No, okay.
All right, so you mind if I call your brother and say, hey, have you had any jobs down here in the past couple months? Are you willing to give me your brother's information?
Right now?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
At this hour? No, fuck no.
No, I'm not gonna call him at this hour,
Oh.
but I need his information to call
Oh.
him. I'll call him tomorrow or something.
No, I'll check with my brother. See what the fuck's going on.
All right. But as far as you know, you've never been down here in the past couple months, but it's possible your brother used your car and may have been down this way.
I mean, yeah, it depends where it's been jobs and that kind of
Yeah,
shit.
that's what I'm asking.
What I know is that my cousin was saying, or his buddy was saying that, he was driving like an hour for work or something like that. And so I was an hour down this way.
Your cousin?
My cousin was talking about my brother bitching that it was an hour away, right? So
When's the last time you used it?
my van.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, usually when I get the kids, I use the van, you know, so throw the price if it's big enough for them.
When's the last time your brother used a car?
He's a veteran to take everyone.
In the car?
Not in the, what, at the house.
Hey, Jody,
So
thanks
I
for
do
being here.
Oh, so he has access to and from your house and do what he wants?
Yeah, so do his guys if they want, like if they need a van to move something or whatever for work, sure, they can grab a van. You know?
Yeah, it's not like he's loaning him a Rolls Royce or something, for God's sake.
One full time.
It's an old work van.
He asks for help from my guys, but
Who's the other guy?
my cousin,
What's his name?
Alex,
What's your brother's name?
Saul,
Was it?
Saul,
Same last name? What's Alex's last name?
oh, he's married in, his mom's my dad's sister, so I don't want to find out that.
Okay. Those are the two regular employees?
So, well, we just help Saul out when he needs the extra hands, you know, so he's just got one.
Basically, those are the two people that may have had your car.
Yeah, I would expect so, if anybody used it.
The rest of the people are just randoms that.
No, the rest of the people, no, the people
You
that
said
would
he
use
was
the
one
van.
regular employee,
Yeah,
so he would just allow anyone to use this? So,
it's open for that. He uses my shop too, you know, store stools there and that kind of shit. It's open for them for whatever purposes they need.
Yeah, tool shop?
Yeah, it's not in good shape, but they throw a bunch of material in it, really. The rest of it's like a wing off the barn and the rest of the barn's leaking, fucking everything.
Have you ever followed her down here?
No, never followed it down there.
When you dropped your phone, you said you dropped her phone, or somehow the phone ended up in her car or something. She accused you of,
Using it as a tracker, right?
okay, using it as a tracker.
Yeah.
Were you able to track your phone? I mean, were you able to go online or your cloud, or I don't know, is it an iPhone, is it a Samsung? I don't even know what it.
No, it's a Cricket, but no, I couldn't. I had to call the carrier to figure out where the cell phone was last. And so when I called the carrier, they said it was in North Kenosha on 5-8 or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, Kenosha, that's where Sadie's boyfriend lives. So when I called Sadie and she denied it, and I'm like, well, it would be awfully coincidental that the day I lose my cell phone, the carrier can verify that it went down to Kenosha. So it's got to be in your vehicle. So then she let me come over and look through her vehicle. And I'm like, I mean, come on. If it goes down to Kenosha, it's got to be here somewhere. In short, she stole it and she wouldn't give it back to me unless I said that I was tracking her. And then I said, fine, I was tracking you, whatever. Can I have the phone back? She's like, finally some truth. She gives me the phone back. And I'm like, I wasn't fucking tracking you. Thank you for the phone back. And then she got all shitty with me. She's like, oh, now you change your story because you get the phone back. You were all nice in the first place. And I'm like, yeah, because I wanted the fucking cell phone back, not because I was trying to track you. Because if I was trying to track you, I put the fucking app on there like the carrier told me to do, because otherwise you got to call in for it, you know? And I'm like, you can call the carrier yourself and you can see. And when she gave me the cell phone back, I unlocked it for her so she could see it and make sure that there were no recordings and that there was no tracking shit on there.
How long after your phone went lost did you get it back?
Monday, almost on Friday, I got back out a little Monday or something like that, yeah. Which,
Well, you don't know if you got a cloud app of some sort. You can go on there and just erase that. Right?
I don't.
Be honest.
Well, let's be honest, I use a fucking flip phone most of the time, and I didn't know that. I don't.
Okay. I'm not saying you did that. I'm just saying,
Well, I mean, I didn't
I
know.
could wipe my phone and show us, hey, there's nothing on here.
No, I didn't know.
Okay. Well, you work for a phone company. Who'd you work for?
AT&T.
Through a cellular store or through a hardline or?
No, I was a network technical specialist that handled the national critical infrastructure between the United States and Japan. So
Okay.
undersea fiber optic cable station.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, so you were,
nothing to do with that. shit.
right, okay. Gotcha. All right. Can you just give us a couple minutes? We'll be right back. You need some more water or anything?
Yeah, I'll take some more water then.
All right, we'll be right back.
I'm saying, guys, whatever I did go chase about Sadie, man, I'm not stalking her, you know, I mean, it's fine. She's got a right to go her own direction. You know, I seen that she's got a boyfriend, not just pretending we're gonna get back together so she can get shit out of me. I don't know what the fuck's going on with her behavior, but I really can't account for her. Really, you know, I can't account for her shit. As far as our daughter goes, our daughter looks to protect her mom, and me.
Well, like I
know
said, man,
you
if
believe-
she's talking, listen, she's talking shit about you the whole time, I get it. Okay?
No,
So she wasn't. She talked you up. She started out talking you up. And a few things she blurted out didn't make you look good. And these aren't things that are like, hey, I'm just gonna throw this out there and fuck with the detective. I mean, this is shit that a 13-year-old girl isn't gonna make up off the top of her head.
12, and she does make up some shit off the top of her head,
Oh,
man.
man. I don't know. I don't think so.
I appreciate your skepticism because honestly, I felt that way too.
Okay. So this,
I really wanted
You're
to
getting
get that thing done.
confrontational
You should
here.
tell half
Oh,
the-
that's a little bit, that's different, dude.
they're getting confrontational, which is they're just kind of ramping up the interrogation here.
I get it.
No, she lies for her mom's sake. She lies.
And yeah. Oh my God. If anybody's had a teenager, they lie for a million reasons. They lie for a million reasons about things. Plus, they're not even considering the fact that mom may have placed these ideas in her noggin. And this is what you're seeing is not detectives trying to detect anything or trying to investigate. They've already decided he did this, and they're just trying to catch him. All of these things he's talking about, they're not going to follow any of these leads. They're not going to check into any of this. They don't care about this. They're just using it to gain his trust and whatnot so that they can find some evidence to try to trip him up with.
For my sake, trying to play some game too. It's not. I understand you talk to her, but
So she might play games back and forth with you guys. That's what a normal kid does, man. That's what they're gonna do, to game one up on parents.
yeah,
Get it. But when you're sitting in a room with a police officer, mom wasn't in here, man. It was just me and
right.
mano a mano, one-on-one. Just tell me what's going on. You're stuck in the middle here.
Bradley, get off the read shit. I just said they're ramping up confrontation with him. I didn't say it had anything to do with the read technique. I said they're becoming more confrontational with him. That's all I said. Relax. Get off the read thing. That had nothing to do with it.
Your shitty spot. It is. It's such a big
God.
kid in this spot, right? Just tell me the truth, right?
Something's funny when the boys are in the car and she's saying that they're not because they shouldn't have been. Or...
No, she even went as far as to say that the boys, she got home and one of them messed the pants.
Son, you're Chris member for 15 months. If anyone's ever been a teenager, they know they lie about
Why is she
anything.
making this stuff up? Like, why is she going that far
Yep.
to make things up?
Thank you
One of
so
them
much for
did
your
mess their
support.
Pants that night. That's true, but
Mhm. I mean, I don't think this is something she's gonna get confused about, man. And
well, I don't think it's something I'm going to get confused about. So I hear what you're saying, but something's not adding up.
you are to make yourself look better. I get it.
And make herself look better. I don't know.
She had no advantage. There was no advantage to her telling you this. There
Uh,
was nothing that she advantage. There was no,
There's no advantage to her
She-
lying about stealing
she's
the
by
other cell
herself.
phone too, but she still does. And it's like, well, it's what she perceives she thinks is, you know,
But she admits that to us, like, she doesn't like deny it.
Yeah.
You know, she talks about what she did, like, yeah, here's what I did to us. Obviously,
Yeah.
let's be, I mean, the kids, they're gonna lie to their parents, it is what it is. Maybe it's because
She lies to the school,
No,
she
whatever.
lied to the cops, she lied to fucking everybody, man. I like you guys' faith in her, that's great, but I
But she's in
mean,
trouble.
oh, no, even when she's not in trouble. Look, you guys haven't been with this shit the last 2 weeks, but I'm just telling you, it's been a circus trying to sort what's true and what's not out of my daughter's mouth the last couple of weeks. And for something like that, I think it really comes down to what she perceives is
right.
culpable or whatever. I don't think, I know I like to have faith in what my daughter said, but you know, this whole thing, like I wanted her to believe shit. It was like her friend that was snitching around. I'm like, no, not my little girl, right? But there were other things, even like once she was busted out, turning all that stuff over to the cops and be like, here's the evidence. She would withhold the evidence too. And we catch her with more. Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You know? And on and on. And so, no, because there's like an angle to it. There's a reason to it. And if she thinks the boys could get in trouble or, you know, I don't know what's running through her head. She might say something goofy, but I don't know.
But I guess what we're getting at is that she wasn't, it's not like she's sitting here with her mom. She's not sitting here with her dad. So she's being essentially neutral in all this. Like, yeah,
Nah.
Dad's doing this, but he's great. Mom's doing this, but she's great. She's not like saying everything that, hey, you're the best and mom's bad, or mom's the best and you're bad. She's not doing that. You know, she's kind of even keel on everything. She's not,
No, maybe.
she's not trying to get one person
Maybe
over the
I
other.
mean, I'm hearing what you guys are trying to sell me, but I just don't.
Well,
After what, and I wasn't there to see it, you know.
Zachary,
but-
I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just telling you how it is. I'm not trying to sell you something here.
Well, you're trying to sell me the notion that my daughter was honest about whatever.
I think she
story
was because she started out with the picking your side. She's on your side this whole time. Sadie says that, she says that, and you know that. She was picking you, man. You guys are tight. You guys are very tight. Are you not? Are you not tight with your daughter?
I love my daughter very much and she loves me, but she straight faced lied to me repeatedly.
It's obvious. And that's obvious by talking to her.
So how would she lie about the boys?
I don't know. I don't think she was lying to me.
I mean, we can go around this fucking, you know, we can go around the block all you want, but you know,
Sure.
at the end of the day, I'm pretty suspicious of what my daughter says. If you're not, that's up to you, you know, so. What other questions do you have for me though, guys? I'm fucking tired. What do you want from me?
Just the truth about everything.
It's going to be interesting to watch Sadie's interrogation, or I guess we wouldn't call that an interrogation, would we? We'd call that questioning or interview. Doesn't sound like they interrogated her at all. It sounds like they were just talking to her to get information to conduct this interview. Solomon, Jen, Zenith, who was questioned by the cops first? I'm assuming just from the context of what they're saying that Sadie was questioned before him. So I'm assuming that's the case. And it'll be interesting to see what she says to the cops that they just accept outright as fact. This is frustrating. This is frustrating for a parent who's had a teenager, or who is, God, anybody that's been a teenager. Teenagers don't need a reason to lie if they think they can get anything out of it. Approval, something, you hide something, gain something, get some sort of benefit, get an extra cookie, whatever. A lie, just because that's part of growing up. Your parent pisses you off one morning, you spread shit about him. The other one does it, and then it makes you mad the next day, and you spread shit about them too. The cops are saying a teenager would have no reason to lie, and there's no reason to believe. That's just being a little too Pollyanna-ish.
Right. I mean, that's kind of what we want. We want to find out. We kind of went over the stories, and you kind of gave us your reasoning behind the stories, whether they were true or false or whatever. I mean, our main thing is to try and find that happy medium in all this.
Yeah.
And
so,
well, I can't wait to see her interview.
On Christmas or whatever. Say you put down for a restraining order and shit. And so we go to court And she writes a bunch of stories, like she's been trying to keep a catalog over the last 12 years about what a piece of shit I am.
Didn't work out for her.
Well, no, because we get in front of the judge and she tells the judge, like one of the stories in there, I'm going through the stories, and I'm like, holy shit, right? Like just lie after lie, exaggeration after exaggeration. But she tells the judge, she tries to convey to the court that like there was an instance where I insisted that we have sex. We were fooling around and I insisted we have sex, and then we didn't because she didn't want to, and then I threatened to go fuck somebody else. But the reality of that story was essentially this. We were fooling around. She didn't want to. She got upset, embarrassed, or whatever. And she said, if you want somebody that can fuck at the drop of a dime, you're going to need to go find somebody else. And I was like, what the fuck just came out of your mouth? And that's just an example of the twists she takes things and the exaggeration she makes of things. So, you know, as far as her stories or what's going on, I'm not hacking her cell phone. I'm not hacking her email. I'm not hacking her shit. I'm not stalking her. There's some things that I checked. I would love to catch her, you know, getting high with her boyfriend just so I could say to the court, I deserve custody of my kids because this is how she spends 3 days a week. My kids shouldn't be taken to the bar.
Is that what you've been trying to do?
That's all I've been looking for, man, is just to validate that. Once I found out that she was fooling around with somebody else because of what we saw through the windows, when I did go to her place, which I did do, it would be nice to verify it. And the only reason that I even came up to that was talking to a counselor who said, it sounds to me like she's moved into hard narcotics. It sounds to me that the way that she's behaving, because I got a woman who's been a good mom and a caring mom for most of life so far, and then suddenly in the last 6 months, it's like a wicked shift to everything I say or do is somehow I'm the big bad guy, and then our daughter's in the middle of this like a fucking pawn, and it's just a bloody mess, you know? I mean, I just don't even know what to make of it when, you know, she's got stories and she's got spins on all sorts of bullshit that because I work at AT&T, I can hack your cell phone. I'm like, that's ludicrous. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
And that's just kind of and there were other things in there. And then when I told the judge, he's like, oh, well, it's just the reality. You think that woman would have stayed with me if I basically raped her, like forced her to have sex with me? That's not the way it went, Judge. We stayed together for 12 years. It was good, great at times. It was bad at times, but you know, in the end,
It's called marriage.
yeah, well, I mean, I cheated on her, you know, poisoned the relationship. So, you know, no going back. I mean, even if people start a rumor, it doesn't matter. You know, some girl said to me at a party that I could do something sexually to her or whatever. Oh man, her friend overheard it or whatever, took it back to Sadie, and she just kept on with this shit. And I'm like, I'm not. That was my friend's date. Like, this is fucking ridiculous, you know? Like, all these accusations, it's not the case. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
All right. So,
Listen, this is her accusations, and I'm gonna go through them again, okay?
Sure.
You followed her, or went to her house, looked through the windows.
Yeah.
You confirmed that, okay?
Yeah.
And confirmed that because she was with you,
Sure.
right?
Okay.
You get a cell phone to record her when she gets mad,
She abuses the kids, yeah.
okay?
you reported that?
I went to an attorney and I asked the attorney, and they said that they have to go through the process establishing parent, fatherhood, you know, paternal, whatever that ruling is with the court.
Parental rights.
That Sadie confirmed that, right?
Yeah.
You accidentally dropped your cell phone in her car, underneath the car seat,
Or, I'm not sure which, but yes,
and just so happened that same day.
underneath the car seat, is that what you
Yeah,
said?
you're in Kenosha again, text messages to her cell phone that we had the whole string.
Good, but that's not how I knew she was in Kenosha. How I knew she was in Kenosha is because when she dropped off the kids, she was taking a flower for her brother's pond down there, and she hid her nice jacket in the back. And when we were looking for the sweatshirts in the car, I saw the nice jacket in the back. It said, and I said, that's probably because she's going down to Kenosha. You know?
Mhm.
That's it. Going to see your boyfriend.
Are
Right?
you upset with that?
I mean,
And I don't want to get too far out of the way. Sonia or Chris a while ago sent a super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. Always deeply, deeply appreciated and graciously received. Thank you so much for your support. For example, quote, I never snuck out of the house as a 16-year-old. Yeah. Yeah. He was like, gee, mom, no, I didn't sneak out of the house last night. Meanwhile, she watched you do it, that kind of thing. Kids just, it's just the way they are. You know, as kids, we're programmed for like self-gratification, self-preservation, whatever I can get out of a situation. Or if you're scared, you don't know what to say, so you make up some BS. So there's so many reasons why a teenager would lie. That's just dumb to say they don't. So, all right, let's listen to a little bit more because I have some comments on this too.
It seems a little bit, but ultimately, I can't unpoison the relationship, can't uncheat
Is
on
there any
her.
jealousy going on?
A bit, a bit.
Are you expressing that?
Yeah, at times, I tell her because she's jealous too, I said the jealousy for us doesn't allow us to be friends, doesn't allow us to have a calm conversation. If I, even like yesterday when I was talking to her or whatever, she said, I sent you an email, right? I said, oh, okay, cool. I'll check it when I get home. She's like, of course you're not home. I go, geez,
So you dropped your cell phone.
Yeah, I dropped the cell phone. I didn't
And
place
you
it.
find her in Kenosha.
I just knew she went to Kenosha.
Okay. She confirms that. Olivia confirms that. So you follow me, man? These sequence of events. She's saying that you're following her.
Yeah, she says a lot of shit,
That you're having conversations about following her.
No.
You're looking through her boyfriend's stuff on Facebook, right?
I looked him up, yeah.
Of course she's going to look to see who this person that's hanging around with his kids is. That is completely rational, and he would be a bad father if he didn't show any interest in whoever it was that his mother was taking the kids out to the bars with and smashing at the house and allegedly doing drugs with and shit like that. He would be an idiot not to find, okay, who is this person you're seeing? Who is this person? I mean, that was one of the first things that my ex and I laid down there. Okay, if either one of us start seeing somebody seriously, we need to tell each other so that we can suss out the situation. I mean, and again, the frustration here is the complete lack of objectivity, I guess, or interest in actual detective work, actually investigating. They're they're clearly taking everything she said as the absolute gospel truth, and anything he is saying against it is a lie. It's illogical. It's unreasonable, and they're not even interested in considering for the slightest instant the possibility that what he might be saying is true. And he's confessing to a lot of things here, which these statements that are against his own interest that's kind of gives him some credibility here. Yeah, I went to the house. Yeah, I did this. Yeah, I was a bit jealous. I mean, it's an unfortunate thing to say, because when he goes, yeah, of course I was a bit jealous. This is a woman I was with for 12 years and she's jealous of me too. All the cops heard was, I was jealous. And there they go, jealous. He was jealous. He stalked the dude and then murdered him because he was jealous. They're seeing it as evidence that he committed these crimes, as confirmation to what they believed when they believed he committed these crimes. He just said he was jealous. That proves we're right. Not, oh, okay, he's a human. He's jealous of his ex. It's this whatever you want to call it, the rush to judgment, the rush to justice, the tunnel vision, whatever you want to call it. These cops clearly have it. And it's all of these little human emotions. Oh, Jen just said this. This is exactly what I was just going to say. All of these little human emotions, all of these things. I was sad. I was angry. I was jealous. I was frustrated. All of these, the cops are taking as motive for committing murder, when it's natural emotions that most people in those situations would be feeling. Am I happy that my kids are being drugged to a bar 3 nights a week? Am I happy, if that's what he believes, that she's doing drugs over with some dude? Am I happy there's, she's having these flings? No. That would be normal. Again, it's what they're doing, and it's just cop bullshit. This is why it's so important to not be sitting in that room alone. Someone to speak for you needs to be there.
Are you looking them up criminally?
Yeah, I see Captain, see what's going on.
Okay. You're doing all these things, right?
I did some things, yeah.
Everything that she's told us, you've done.
I don't know that that's true at all.
Well, it's happened. The thing she's claiming happened, right?
Maybe not,
Yeah, but I mean-
not the way they say it happened.
Yeah, hold on. I mean, just, look, I'm not trying to call you gullible, but she says that she went to
Yes,
her
you are,
brother's house
'cause
and
they
she
are.
found the cell phone, right? Now, I call the carrier, and the carrier says the cell phone ends up down in Kenosha, but she says that she literally drove like 2 miles away to her brother's house and found the cell phone, yet left the cell phone on and took it to Kenosha. So you tell me, guys, what fucking adds up?
That's
'Cause-
what she told us.
well, that's what she told me, but, you know, listen, ultimately, if the carrier.
And tell you that though, I mean,
Stop.
that's what I'm saying. No,
Listen,
I'm saying though, why would she tell you the truth versus telling us the truth? I mean, you guys obviously. have a lot
Because
of
she
people
wants you to
suspecting
arrest
that you're
him and
doing
get rid of
this, you know,
him.
following her to
That's
the advice,
why.
to be honest with you.
I don't know what
You
she's telling you for the stalking accusations here, guys, but I'm just telling you something doesn't add up in that story specifically. Because if I call the carrier and the carrier says the cell phone goes down to fucking Kenosha, right? Well, then if she says she found the cell phone at her brother's house, which is by my house, then why the fuck did you drive all the way to Kenosha before you shut it off?
How do you know that she found it before she went to Kenosha?
That's what she told me.
Okay, well, yeah, then that wouldn't make sense. Otherwise
Right.
you
So
turn it
I mean,
off
I hear,
before you go.
okay, you guys got a story, but I'm telling you, all her stories are bullshit
That's
like
why
that.
we're getting your side now. We didn't get that before. Now you're telling us, hey, oh, there's more
Well,
to
I'm
this.
just
And
saying,
you're not
that's what
believing
I
a
called her
goddamn
on the way down
second
here
of
to
it.
ask me about fucking stealing a cell phone or whatever the shit. And then she wouldn't give it back before I said, fine, I took it to track it, which is bullshit. I just want to get the damn cell phone back because, mind you, I took the fucking cell phone and I took a video of the police because Snapchat, like, you have to save the messages and shit. And I'm just like, holy fuck, I lost the cell phone and I don't know what to do. And if you go through her text messages, you'll probably see that. Did I text message her or I call her? I had to call her about that because if you lose a fucking phone that's got or whatever, fucking kill yourself, man. I'm like, holy shit, that makes you sick, you know? But it was just her that took it. But to be fair, in the first place, I thought she stole it. Like, I thought she went in the house.
Yeah, why
and
would she
took
tell
it.
different
And I was
stories?
like,
'Cause
no,
she's a
I was
liar.
in the van with it in my pocket, so she didn't take it from me.
That's a very
So I must have
awesome
dropped it. And to be fair, maybe I didn't drop it in
explanation.
the truck. Maybe I just dropped it outside the truck and she picked it up, you know? But something fucking happened there. Something happened there where she kept it on until she went to Kenosha. And then she bragged that, oh, she found it right away at her brother's house. So you tell me.
The night you went with her house,
Yeah.
went through the windows, let's get back to that.
Sure.
Did you take anything?
No.
Did you go in any vehicles in that?
No, I got those accusations too. No, you went in his truck and you took some shit. No, the fuck I didn't. And then he wanted to kill me about it or what, he was gonna beat me up or whatever. And I said, I didn't fucking take your shit. I didn't take your shit. Spare me the accusations.
There's nothing in your house that's his?
No.
Nothing.
There's nothing in my house that's his, man.
Nothing in your house?
Nothing in my house that's his. I'm telling you, nothing.
See, they don't fucking believe him. Look at that. Just yeah, there's nothing at all. Nothing in your house. It's him. Nothing. They're giving that condescending, man-spreading, bullshit. I don't believe a word you're saying posture. And guess what? He was telling the truth. He was telling the truth, wasn't he? He's invited them to go check his house for everything you want. He's invited them to crawl through both of his cell phones. He's invited them to look at everything he possesses. This doesn't sound like a guy that just murdered somebody to me. In fact, my question, and it's even a stronger question for me at this point. My question was, like, add to the what's going on in my head that he said she's had four or so boyfriends in the last 6 months. So, that gives you 3 weeks apiece ish. Let's say one boyfriend lasts 3 weeks. She knew this alleged victim just a couple of weeks, just a few weeks. So that's kind of right on target. And the testimony was brought up that he may not have wanted to be in the relationship anymore. So everything kind of lines up there. Why would Zach go and murder somebody that is going to be gone in a week or two, given her previous track record? If he's this pissed, if he's this filled with rage, if he's this jealous, if he's this put upon, why wouldn't he kill Sadie? She was the cause of all of this. That was been my question from the beginning. Why would he kill somebody that's not going to be there? It's just they're gonna break up, and now it's even more in my mind that now that we find out she's had four boyfriends in the last 6 months. Killers would take her out in a fit of rage, not some random hookup dude that's been smashing her for a few weeks. Because why wouldn't he have killed the previous 3? Why wouldn't he have waited for number 5? You know, what's the deal? So far, we've got 30 minutes left, and they haven't even brought up the murder yet. We're still talking about this stalking bullshit, and we've got 30 minutes left. And I've got to say, so far, the pendulum has made me swing even further towards believing that he didn't do this. Everything he said is reasonable doubt. Everything he said seems to be honest, except for maybe the deal about visiting the house. You know, to me, I'm sure he went there to catch her doing something that he could use in the custody hearing. But all right, let's keep going. We got 30 minutes left
I
here.
wrote down his information off a CCAP.
Where's that?
I don't know. I think I threw it away at this point. Clean all my shit out.
What about his registration card for his
Nice,
truck?
Jen.
I have his registration card for his truck. I heard that bullshit story too. Same bullshit out of Sadie. You took it. No, the fuck I didn't.
Well, how would Sadie get this information? Like, how would Sadie know that you allegedly? Why would she say to you, you took his registration?
I don't know what the fuck he did with his registration, or what the stories are, or Zach must have done it. Zach does everything. I have no fucking idea.
Well, that's right. We had the court clerk or the court officer try to hook up with the Rosalio that night, and that story makes
his
no
information,
sense
I
at
wrote it
all.
down, when I
Her
looked
version
him
of
up,
that
outside
story
that,
makes
you know.
no damn
When I
sense.
got that information from Jeannie.
Of his address and everything?
His name, yeah. She's friends with him as Junior as whatever the fuck it is on Facebook, and that's how I, figured it out. But
Okay, now I'm stressing, and I'm getting into wine box mom mode here. In internet sleuth. Look, what was just brought up was correct. There was a woman that he was supposed to have met that night. The timing of her story doesn't make any damn sense. Why they didn't get together makes no damn sense. Just her version of the story is ridiculous. It makes no damn sense at all. But what we do know is that Sadie, Zach's ex, had sent a text, I believe it was, to the missing Rosalio, saying, "Oh, I want to be more serious." I can't remember what the exact wording used was. I want to be more serious. I want to be your bae, or whatever the hell it was she said. He kind of ghosts her a bit. He send her like an emoji or something, not "I love you" back. So we've got this woman who's apparently being very, very jealous of her ex, who's burning through boyfriends. Now she's got one she wants to be a long-term thing with. And literally, it may have been the day before or a couple of days before dude goes missing. She says, "I want to get serious." He kind of ghosts her a little bit with an emoji. Then perhaps she finds out that he's supposed to be hooking up with another chick on this night that he's murdered. And perhaps Sadie had something to do with it. She would be the jealous one, but even the defense making a whiff of that argument damn near got a mistrial out of it, which I think Judge Schrader was a complete moron in that regard. But that's all right. I'm ranting again. It is. I mean, how Sadie wasn't seriously investigated in this, and it is beyond me. Of all of the people involved, shady chick that shows up on the night of the murder and doesn't see him with this weird time frame, and Sadie, are the two most likely suspects in this story. Sadie's probably, well, not probably, to me, Sadie is the number one suspect in this.
It actually, well,
On the Facebook?
no, no.
Oh.
Jeannie does.
Oh,
right.
okay, I thought you were talking.
So yeah, Sadie was talking to Grandma about it, and then Grandma shared that information. Came back and gave me his whole name, you know?
And the address?
No, I just looked at his information. I'll see Captain.
Do you ask her, like, hey, what do you know? What's this guy's name? Do you
No.
ask her?
No,
She just came back.
she
and was like, hey,
volunteers
Dad, here's
that.
the number, here's the
Yeah,
number.
Jeannie told me that he's a contractor, you know. And whatever.
Oh, she's got a thing for contractors.
It's fine. And Dad does something similar too right now. I work part-time at MATC and help out Saul, so
What's his address?
I don't remember it offhand.
You know where it is in Kenosha?
Not offhand.
You ever been by his place? Drove down by his place?
Dudes, really? You keep asking me, I keep telling you.
They're trying to catch you in a lie.
What else you got?
Oh, don't ask that.
There's cameras everywhere, dude. So everywhere.
Great.
Everybody's got Ring doorbells now. Everybody's
Yeah, yeah,
got
yeah.
cameras that are
Everybody's got cameras. See, there's a thing. Everybody's got cameras, and I don't know what they're going to say next. But if they're lying, they're going to say, we got you on camera. Or if they can say, oh, well, we can pull the cameras and find out. He wasn't on camera. Exactly. Cameras everywhere, but no footage of him. And if I recall, there was one camera that could have put him somewhere where he wasn't supposed to be, and that camera footage somehow wasn't recorded that one particular night. I can't remember what the deal was, but there was one camera that was mysteriously, it only malfunctioned for a few minutes on one particular night, which would have been the time that Zach was going by. But yeah.
popping on these streets, right?
Good,
You know
good.
that, we know that. To save us a bunch of time, just tell us the truth, because.
Oh, there we go. Now we're to that point. Now we're to that point where we, just tell us the truth.
Vehicle comes up driving past somewhere or in the area,
Right.
then that doesn't look good for you, right?
Yeah. However it's gonna look, I just wanna look out for the well-being of my kids. I don't know what you're getting at. Stalking, I don't really know what the laws or the rules are there. I've taken an interest and I've gone and I've looked at some things just to get a bit of truth for myself. I'm seeing somebody else. She's got the right to see somebody else. I'm not trying to make a big fucking deal out of it.
Well, you
Accusations
were-
of me stealing
You were,
shit.
man, you were making a big deal. You were checking things out.
You know,
I mean,
like I
based
said,
on what you're telling me today, you were checking things out. You were
Yeah.
watching out.
look, there were a couple occasions when I went to verify it, but making it this thing like I'm stalking her, I'm tracking her, or I fucking hacked her cell phone or whatever, take a goddamn hike. I didn't, okay? I mean, I hear what you're saying, but it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
In the statute book, man, a couple times is stalking.
I don't know what it is, but once I verified some information, once you know, then you can fucking know, okay? I mean, if she didn't play games about it, then I would have known right away. There wouldn't have been anything to go check. But I didn't fucking track her on the cell phone. I dropped the cell phone. And this accusation that I even dropped it in the truck was really her stipulation, because I don't even think I fucking dropped it in the truck. My only thought was that if I did, it was when I leaned in to get the hooded sweatshirts, the boys' sweatshirts out of the middle console. I don't even know if that's the case. I don't. Again, that's her version of shit, and I don't know. Because again, her account was, she took that shit down to fucking Kenosha before she shut it off. Well, if you thought I was tracking you, why would you take it to Kenosha anyway?
She
Something
had a
doesn't
different
add up.
account for us. She had a different account.
Well, I don't know her fucking account. It's just, that's
She
what,
found the phone after a text message you sent her about being in Kenosha, and she's like, oh, shit.
no, she was going to fucking Kenosha because she was all dolled up and happy and excited. And she always calls me Zachariah when she's excited. But because of the way she behaved, and she spilled some of the water from the plant that she was taking over to her brother's house on her, and she was bitching about it. I'm like, well, all dressed up for going out on a Friday night, you're going down to Kenosha. Not because I had a fucking tracker to figure it out. And then why would I wait 3 days before calling the carrier to fucking verify? And if you ask, I spent the fucking weekend looking for the damn phone. So still, I know, I hear Sadie's spin. You guys are soaked in it. That's great, but please.
Unfortunately, Sadie's spin is matching up with his spin. And
Oh.
you talk to them separately and things are matching up with what they have to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I don't know if they sat and planned this out for 3 days about whether they're gonna come talk to you.
See, this does not sound like a guy who's lying to me at all. It sounds like a guy who's frustrated at his ex for the bullshit she's pulling, and now he's frustrated that they're not listening to him.
Talk about you, Bob.
So
But man, it's damn near impossible because you know what? We're gonna trip them up. And they didn't trip up.
bullshit. So this weekend, bullshit.
Man.
Yeah, bullshit. Because this weekend, my daughter, she comes to me and she says, "Hey, Dad, do you know how to hack a phone?" And I go, "No." She's like, "Well, you worked at the phone company." "Yeah, I worked at the phone company, but you don't know how to hack a phone." "No, babe, I have no idea how to hack a phone," or whatever the fuck. No shit. Today, last night or this morning or whatever, Sadie's bullshit. "You hacked all my stuff last night." Because I called her and I said, "What are you telling our daughter? You're putting some ideas in our daughter's head about me hacking your shit just because I used to work for the phone company?"
I believe him
So whatever's
completely
getting
here.
conveyed there, I don't fucking know, but there's all sorts of these bullshit stories going on. No.
After that outburst, again, the meter is swinging way more to he didn't do this. That's a guy who knows that she does this bullshit and the cops are fucking lying about it. And they're trying to trip him up and he's not tripping up either. So what's the deal, man? What's the deal, super investigator, Mr. Detective Man? Now I'm getting angry at the cops. I've been angry, now I'm getting really angry, I
What's
guess.
the real truth?
We don't know, so we're trying to figure out.
Brought your daughter up. Doesn't mean you brought your daughter out in the middle of the night and brought her up to the window to look at her mother with another dude.
I didn't know it was another dude.
Come on, you just said it. Some other dude's car's in the yard.
Yeah, because I knew after the fact, not because I knew in the first place.
The reason you went there is because there's another dude.
No, the reason I went there is because something was going on. To be
You
honest,
had a premonition that that she was with some other guy.
no.
That's what you said.
No, he
You
didn't.
said that
He
about
did
10
not.
minutes ago.
I had a premonition that something was up that night, that she was.
Yeah, see, that's what he said. Not what you said, cop. He didn't say he had a premonition she was another dude. He said there was a premonition, something weird was going on, something was going down. But again, I'm sure he went there to kind of find whether it was another guy, whether it was drugs, whatever it was, he was going there to find something out. In what realm of reality does that have anything to do with murder?
With another guy. I honestly expected it was going to be her friend from high school over there getting fucked up, doing drugs. But no, it was another guy. And no, I wasn't sure. I just knew something was up, right?
Why would you bring your daughter to look through the window, dude?
Because I couldn't leave them home alone.
She could have sat in the car.
She just wanted to go look too.
She stayed in the car initially.
Oh, to be honest, man, I nor her would have ever expected Mom to be in that position with some dude, okay?
Hey,
I
phrasing,
wouldn't
that
fucking
literal
expect it.
position.
Well, you didn't expect it when you went over there.
No, that's not true. I mean, you want me to assume that the worst for her, but no, she's actually been a good mom for the most part. It's been a good relationship for the most part, and she's not been promiscuous. She's been very loyal. To see another car in the driveway, and if she started doing coke with her friends, is a little sickening, but to know who the fuck is over in the first place from out of town, just to verify who the fuck it was, or if I or Olivia knew, you might think it's unreasonable, but I'm not in that circle of friends to know whose Colorado plates those are, right? I mean, when I pulled in, that's what my headlights were looking at, Colorado plates. What the fuck is that? Somebody's in from out of town? I didn't expect she was fucking somebody else. And honestly, she said she didn't. I don't know that I believe her, but, ultimately, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter at this point, because this back and forth shit, do you still care, don't you still care, whatever, we should see other people. There's not a sentence that can be said in a relationship that isn't everything's my fucking fault. So whatever.
Well, I think it goes both ways. I mean,
You know what I mean?
we're in the middle, unfortunately. Well, mom's feeding her this information, dad's feeding her this information, she is in the middle.
No,
Like, so she's used as that pawn.
she's not in the and she gathers information, man. She sits outside the fucking open doors and windows. She'll go up to the closed door and listen and shit. Like she pulls information and shit, you know, and that's where I even got tipped off about shit or whatever and suspicious. Now going and verifying the information, whatever rules I broke to verify the information isn't because it came from nowhere. I believe that there's some truth to what my daughter was reading, you know? No, I'm not telling some other dude that she loves him. We get in big fights from time to time or whatever. We need a month away. We need a month and a half away. You know, like there's just moments.
Were you guys ever married?
No.
Oh, okay.
You know, no. But
So there was no like legal separation or things like that. It was just kind of a soft breakup. She needed space, you need space, but you guys still kind of.
shit, after she had me arrested on Christmas Eve, we went to court like 2 weeks later, you know? And the judge asked her pointedly, you know, are you guys still together? And she had to say no. So no, there wasn't like a breakup. It was like retroactively 2 weeks ago, we were not together at the time that we got in an argument and separated. So no, it's always been kind of a blur or in the middle, you know? It's always been open to other relationships and space when we need it. It hasn't been a thing where, it's consistent, I guess, you know? I mean, like I told you, when I worked for AT&T, I worked for, my last year was out on the coast of California. I wasn't here. I traveled back and see her. For the 2 years before that, 2.5 years before that, I was up in Hudson, Wisconsin. I wasn't here, you know? It's not, this isn't new, you know? I mean, the only thing that was new is her pretending like we were going to get back together when really not. The only thing that was really new was she's now slapping across the face and fighting with her, you know, and hitting the kids. And that, I've got recordings on, you know, like what the fuck is going on? And arguments with her, it just makes no sense, the shit that's coming out of her mouth, you know? And whether you think she's telling the truth or not, wherever the fuck, I dropped the phone outside the truck, inside the truck, whatever the fuck, you can think whatever you want. At the end of the day, if she knew, which she claims to have known, found it under the seat, drove all the fucking way down to Kenosha before she shuts it off, what does that tell you? Bullshit. Just bullshit. No, I can't hack a cell phone. It's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Just more bullshit. Everything that goes wrong in the world is not my fucking fault.
Sure.
I'm sorry. It's just not. You know, that's on her to try to account for, but the best she can do is point the finger at me, and I have no fucking idea, so, you know.
It's going both ways. I mean, you're pointing finger at her, she's pointing finger at you.
Yeah. No.
Well, so why are you believing her and not
I
him?
could go sometimes, I suppose.
And the one in the middle,
My daughter.
we're not supposed to believe.
Well, she got a fucked up version too. I mean, you know, when we went to court for the,
Oh, well.
no, we
Fucked up.
well, hear me out, man. I mean, I see you're quick to cut me off, but the truth is, it's like, even when we went to court, you know, after the, now, mind you, my daughter was not there. Mom swung the broom at my face. She shoved me into the door 4 times, all sorts of bullshit, right? We show up at court. My daughter can't even talk to me. She won't look at me. She hates my guts because of whatever the fuck mom told her, you know? I mean, I hear you.
That's
but-
all she wasn't. She wasn't like that today, man. I'm telling you, she wasn't like that.
Well, you don't know that.
She took your side.
By and large, yeah, but
But had she want to throw you under the bus, she wants to take your side.
I don't,
She's not going to call you good dad.
Look, how
She's not
we-
going to say, hey, we're awesome together, and then tell me this shit about you, of what you did.
it fucking says you. I know my daughter and she does that shit, man. And it's frustrating for me as a dad. I hear you. I like that you have faith. I do too, by and large, but it's not true.
Dad's not, come on,
It's not true.
cop.
Okay.
She does, now whether she was telling the truth today or whatever the fuck happened.
We don't even know what she
no,
said.
I can guarantee you there was some embellishment there. She does that shit. Try to spare the wrath or whatever. She does that shit. And I don't really know what she asked her. I don't know what. I wasn't there for it, but you know, I'm pretty good at calling her out on it. And she usually doesn't want dad around for those reasons. Even when we talked to the police in Germantown, she's like, no, I don't want dad there. You know, had to go into the room with mom. I'm like, all right, you know, told Sadie, just, well, you know, dad sniffs that shit out a lot better than mom does, right? I mean, yeah. And if I was in there, I probably would have caught her. I mean, come on.
How many times did you see this dude she was with?
Sadie, once at her place, ever.
That's it?
Otherwise, she would go down to visit him.
Was he ever up at the house other than that one time?
I only saw him one time. I don't know. Again, you think I'm over there stalking every night? I'm not. I got a buddy that lives 2 houses down, and he said, "Hey, are you over there? Because I see another vehicle in the driveway." No, I'm not, or whatever. Somebody else, a friend's visiting. I don't fucking know, but no.
Is it friend down the road?
Steve,
Where is he? Which way?
he's she lives on an angled street, so he's northwest.
Does she know who he is?
There's no.
No, does Sadie know your buddy?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they're neighbors.
Mutual.
Yeah.
Did you ever tell him, like, dude, if you ever see any cars, let me know? You never said like nothing like that to him?
No.
Right. All right.
I'm gonna grab some coffee.
Do you need any more water?
I'm all right on water. I gotta have a
Just give me a minute and talk to him real quick, and I'll be right back, right?
Yeah, what time is it, man? I mean, I'm tired.
Midnight.
11:57. So, just give me a second.
All right, how long is this shit gonna take, you know?
All right. Again, let's let him sit there for a while for no good reason. So they can watch and see how he acts, what he does. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. 4 minutes. 5 minutes. 6.
You got a few properties, huh? Rentals?
Almost 7 minutes. They just let him sit there for no reason.
North Milwaukee,
Yeah.
Brown Deer area? How many you got?
Technically one, but Sadie's old place, it's not taken out of her name at the moment, but I bought it out of the sheriff's name because she bought it through, her mom passed away, she had it as inheritance, and she got it, and she didn't feel right to,
Sure,
take it.
sure. What's that address?
But which one?
The one in by Brown Deer you're talking about?
Sadie's?
Yeah.
50. I don't know the zip code.
Is that considered Milwaukee?
It's Brown Deer, Milwaukee County, but not.
Right.
Yeah.
Any other properties you own right now?
One of her brother's states
Where's that?
is, it's on Port Ave, it's, in Milwaukee, it's,
What's her brother's name?
TJ. Did you
No, Boosh, there's no evidence that he moved anything anywhere.
TJ, that's what he goes by, TJ.
He's currently living there right now?
Yeah, him and his girl.
What about the one in Brown Deer? Anybody living there?
Yeah.
Who's your tenants?
Jason.
No other properties?
No.
Where are you contemplating moving to? You said earlier you're gonna move.
Down to West Dallas.
What do you got lined up there?
Roommate, just rip a room down there, try and clean out the house and fix up the house and rent it out.
So whose is it?
The house? In my home?
Yeah.
Mine.
No, the house you're gonna move into, or you're
It's
paying
just a rental. It's just a buddy of mine's, got a spare room.
Okay.
So,
What's his name? Can I ask?
Andrew.
His last name?
Shit, we haven't been friends that long. His last name is, he just broke up with his girl. He asked me if I wanted to cover the other half, and I said that might work. What is Andrew's last name? I don't know. Howard.
Mm-hmm. You know the address there?
No, I got it.
Harry Potter's beard. They're putting up the links to Zachariah Anderson's webpage, as well as the Wrongful podcast. Go check all of those out. Everybody else, go check those out if you want to deep dive more into this.
And the kids. Yeah, I think I had the kids all day Sunday. Clean up the house. I think we set up, it was rainy day. I think we set up TV and couch and everything like that downstairs so we could hang out and watch cartoons and movies and shit. So,
All of them are at your house? All three.
And
So what time?
Till Sadie picked them up in the evening, I guess.
What time did she come?
I don't remember, dude.
Was it like late in the afternoon?
Yeah, generally, I don't remember offhand.
Did you do anything that night?
I think I don't know, took a nap probably. Maybe went over to my girlfriend's house, I'm not really sure.
Was she there tonight, your girlfriend?
Yeah.
What's her name?
Christine.
I haven't talked to you guys yet. Christine?
Christine
What's Christine's last name?
Rendsburg.
Rensburg. She,
Already on Rendsburg.
Rensburg. She a local girl up there?
Yep.
How old is she? Your age or?
She's a little younger than me.
Or younger?
Okay.
All right. So you said maybe went over there? Do you know for sure what you did? I mean, it was what, 2 days? 1 day ago? 2 days ago? Not yesterday.
I'm guessing I went over there. I don't remember exactly. I'm guessing I went over by her, Sunday night.
Did you spend the night there?
I don't ask her.
Well, I'm asking you. These are important questions, man.
I don't remember if I spent the night that night. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, depending on it.
It was 2 nights ago. You don't remember what you did 2 nights ago? You spent the night? Did you drink or do
A little bit of
anything?
exasperation, but you know.
No.
No, I don't remember if I stayed the whole night or not.
I mean, is it common for you to stay all night, or is it common for you to leave at 4 in the morning?
Depends if her sister's home. If her sister's home, sometimes she's up late watching TV, so I'll get up and I'll head home.
What's your sister's name?
Is, hold on, sister's name is Cassie.
And she lives up there in Mequon?
Yeah, Jack, you're right. I mean, you know, you're right.
Not too far away from
you just never go into
So
a room
Cassie's
like
there,
this
yeah.
alone. Have a lawyer.
They're allowed when she is, but sometimes Cassie stays up late watching TV, and if that's gonna keep me up, I'll get up and go home.
Well, rush to judgment. You're tired of hearing the name Sadie. Well, get used to it because I think David's going to be showing the
I did some running around.
interview with Sadie later on today, and I'll be doing it probably Tuesday of next
Left for a
week.
bit and I came back. Went down to a buddy's house, wherever, close to the
What is that?
Milwaukee.
Can you give me his name?
Jason, Jay.
So you know, Jay?
Yeah, that's all I know. I don't remember his last name.
His number in your phone? Under Jason?
No,
Under Jay?
probably not.
What else would it be under?
I know all sorts of shit. I know all sorts of little abbreviations for people's names in the phone.
Does it start with a J?
His name does, him in the phone.
What about the contact? Does it start with a J? Does he have a nickname?
A bunch of them.
Like what? What are they?
Korean Jesus, I don't know.
Would it be Korean Jesus?
I don't know.
I mean, it's
I
a
don't-
buddy, right? Your buddy that you hang out with, man.
Hey, stop fucking with Korean Jesus. He ain't got time for your problems. He busy with Korean shit.
Don't know what his contact's under. When you go to call Jason, what do you go on your phone?
Shop or something like that.
Shop.
I don't know.
Okay.
It'll be something.
Shop. All right, that helps.
Yeah.
He's my buddy, man. I look for Vinny when I call him.
Okay, he's more of an acquaintance. I mean, asking for some help with some shit, working on a friend's roof and that kind of stuff. So
So what
call
else
him a
did
friend
you,
if that's all.
what else did you do last night, man?
Slept. I don't know. What did we do last night?
I don't know.
We watched a movie. I remember. Oh, that. No, we watched that this morning. Yeah, we watched
Oh,
that this morning. We watched.
The Korean Jesus was from the remake of 21 Jump Street, the movie. Yeah, there you go, Ashley. Thanks, Ash.
This morning. And then
Who's we?
my girl and I.
Okay. All right. So that was this morning. So did you wake up with her?
So, yeah, but did I go over last night or did I come over in the morning is the question.
All right, now we're talking like
Me
8 hours, 10
too.
hours ago.
I've
Yeah,
had
I'm
that.
tired as fuck,
I've had
man.
that
You're
on my
asking me
phone
to
for
turn
on
on
my
word of the day
soundboard
because
for so long, and
sometimes,
finally
I'll come over
someone
at
did
like
it.
2 in the morning or some shit, or 4 in the morning or some shit. It just depends.
Yeah.
But last night did I sleep over by her? Yeah, because I came back after I went and talked to Jay. So yeah, I slept there last night. And the night before that, Sunday. I think I just called her and we sat on the phone. If I'm not mistaken. I think that was Sunday night, we sat on the phone.
It was 21 Jump Street. It was an old TV program back in the 80s and 90s, and they remade it into a movie in 2012 with what's his face, Jonah
Remember
Hill and
everything in
Channing
detail
Tatum.
For the last 4 months, dude.
No, I
But
don't.
2 nights ago, it's a mystery.
No, that's bullshit. I just told you I didn't know if I had my cell phone out for the light or not when I went and
Yeah,
saw
that's
Sadie
what he
at her
said.
house. Everything in detail. No,
That's
I don't
what he
remember
said.
everything. I remember some things. I remember the gist of things more than anything. I'm not a detailed guy. My little brother, on the other hand, he can fucking recite song lyrics and tell you where bands are from and where they play and all that shit. I don't have that, you know.
I have a weird selection.
Sure, yeah. I don't have an eidetic memory, man. I don't, and I'm tired as well. So I gotta organize things. I gotta write things down, you know, keep a little journal and shit. And I do write that. I write that out. You know, this is what happened today. This is the next bullshit
Where's that?
story. It's on my
What can I
computer.
say?
How many computers you got?
A couple of broken ones sitting there. Some laptops.
Which one do you use? Which one do you use?
Depends on what I'm doing, I suppose.
Which one do you use when you write your journal?
Why?
Just wondering. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff in there about,
Yeah, one of them. I mean, you want a copy of the journal?
oh, we're gonna see the journal. Just making it easier on us.
Oh. Why are you gonna see the journal?
It's pertaining to this case.
Stalking?
Yeah.
Mm.
Your internet searches,
Okay.
now you have a journal where you're documenting everything you do.
I don't know about everything I do, but I document some stuff in regards to the well-being of my kids and fighting for custody.
Perfect, man. That should help you. What computer is it?
Mm.
Is it Apple, notebook, iPad?
Yeah,
Something like
that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that sort of.
Look, I don't know the laws on being a stalker or not being a stalker.
Yeah,
I've taken a look.
That's got to be the moment when it's like,
What the fuck
okay,
you
this
doing
is
for my job, my
much more
computer?
serious than I
I'd be
thought.
happy to show you. I'd be happy to send them to you or whatever, but we're gonna see anyway. I don't know what's going on right now.
I want to know where you were Sunday night.
I just told you.
No, you think you told me.
I think I told you. Okay.
No, there's a big difference.
Now the cops are being a dick.
But what I can tell you is, I don't know what you guys are doing. I'm tired as fuck. Either take me home or give me a lawyer, because I'm not really, what you're doing is really odd. It's almost like a threat about the computer, and that's peculiar to me.
We're not threatening. The case is involving stalking. She's alleging that you've been tracking her, you're tracing her with electronic devices and things like that.
I don't think
We're
I
gonna-
crossed any line. Yeah, I get it, but I don't think I crossed any line.
Well, that's what he's saying, like, we're gonna get that information from those devices.
All right, well, do my Google searches or whatever you guys gotta do, but something's, I don't know, like I said, if you're gonna threaten me about keeping a journal,
Dude,
whatever
I
the
ain't
fuck that
threatening.
was.
I ain't threatening. You're just telling me you have a journal of everything.
No, you said we're gonna see it anyway.
Everything I do. I didn't say everything I do.
Okay.
So I mean, like, you wanna twist words too, like Sadie, man, I don't know what the fuck that it's gonna do us. We're trying to have a conversation about stuff. I'm trying to tell you how things go, but I don't know what you're doing over there. It's weird.
All he's saying is that we'll look through the journal. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
I'll be happy to share it to
about
you.
how many steps I take. I don't keep a journal of shit like that too, but I also know 2 nights ago.
Fuck, the
I
journal's
was at my
lit-
place.
literally called custody for my kids' well-being. I mean, what the fuck?
Okay, so that's what we're asking, but what computer?
Okay, this is a sad thing. He asked for a lawyer. No, he didn't. That's the thing. He just said, you do this or give me a lawyer. That's the problem. You need to affirmatively and specifically state that you are exercising your Fifth Amendment rights to remain silent, and you want a lawyer immediately. You have to actively say, I will not answer questions. I want a lawyer here now. I want to talk to my lawyer. It has to be a specific, unequivocal statement that you're exercising your right to remain silent and you want your lawyer now. You're not going to answer any questions until you've spoken with your lawyer or until your lawyer is present. He just said, take me home or give me a lawyer. He didn't ask for a lawyer, and it's late. It's late. So, I mean, that's the thing. If you're ever in a situation like this, and God forbid, and you have to ask for a lawyer, you must be explicit and unequivocal that that is what you are doing. You are demanding a lawyer, and you are not going to be questioned until your lawyer arrives, and you are exercising your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent.
For electronic device, is it on?
Dude, get me a lawyer. Take me home. You pick. This is crazy. This is fucking nuts.
All right, we're done. We can't talk to you no more.
See right there, get me a lawyer. And you'll notice that's what he said. Okay, we can't talk to you anymore. You're done. So he didn't say that, but now he did. And they could almost argue that he threw that or take me home part at the end, but he did finally say, get me a lawyer. It unfortunately took an hour and 20 minutes and being told that they're going to start snooping through his journal for him to, kind of make this connection that, holy shit, there's more to it. There's more to it than this, and that's the thing. So, oh God! All right, let's finish with the last couple minutes here.
I don't know what you want from me. This is crazy. I don't think I crossed any fucking lines.
All right. So what's gonna happen is the officer's gonna take you over across the street. Jail, you'll have. What time is it? After midnight. Within 48 hours, you'll have a preliminary hearing for
what?
stalking. So I can't guarantee.
48 hours? What the fuck,
Within
you guys?
48 hours, I said. It could be tomorrow at 1 o'clock, or else it'll be Tuesday at 1 o'clock. I don't know the exact time.
Are you fucking
Tomorrow
kidding me?
morning, we will.
That's a surprised man right there. That's a surprised man.
Have a meeting with our district attorney office.
I didn't do shit to her. What are you talking
So
about?
that's what's happening tonight. So we can't talk about anymore. You have requested an attorney, so that's what's gonna happen tonight. I just wanna make you aware of that.
This is fucking bananas, you guys.
All right.
For stalking, get the fuck out of here.
Yep, that's the charge. So,
Come on now, really?
Yep.
48
give us
hours?
a minute, I'll get the officers to come in here, and then we'll get you out of here like you requested. All right?
Yeah.
Dang. That's it. One minute left. Let's see. Let's watch the last minute here.
What the fuck?
Ugh. that came as a surprise to him. That was a shock.
All right, Zach, come on this way. We're gonna walk right over to this room over here,
Yeah, right on.
and then the officers will be.
Wow. That's. I've got thoughts. All right. As I've said from day one, and as I said at the beginning of this, I don't know whether he did it or not, but I was leaning towards him not having committed these crimes, particularly the murder. I was leaning heavily in that direction. And I was actually concerned that he would say something during this interrogation that would make me go, holy shit. Yeah, okay, he did it. But even if he did it, he still shouldn't have been convicted. But having watched this for the last hour and 20 minutes, and again, I'm not a huge body language guy. I don't buy into a lot of that, but just like the basic that all humans do, he seemed relaxed. He seemed calm. He seemed honest. He got frustrated about the situational questions, not about the evidentiary questions and the specific fact questions. There was a lot of frustration there. And after watching it, I am leaning even more heavily on the side of he didn't do this. So yeah, I was terrified that I would go, oh my God, I have to conclude that he did this. And then everybody that, all of the political capital that I've built up with the Zachariah Anderson court watchers is going to go out the window. Everybody's going to fucking unsubscribe from me. And that's going to be a thing. But having seen it, I'm more heavily than ever, and I will never know for sure. But I'm just about as close to saying I'm convinced he didn't do it. I mean, as I could possibly be. But again, it boils down to how what filter you're looking at what he said through. The filter of the guy, okay, is this a reasonable explanation of what he thought happened or what he did or what he was accused of doing? Or are these things evidence to support the police? It depends what filter you have. I was jealous. I was angry. Yeah, I was sad. Those are all motives for murder. Jealous of the act, but they're also human emotions that people, and he freely admits to them. And his actions, like begging them to go through his phones, to go through his stuff, to go through his house. That goes far towards someone who, I mean, if you've committed a murder and you have all of these things around you, you're not going to say, hey, cops, check out my phone, check out my house, go root around there, do whatever you want to do. They're not going to do that. So yeah, this has gone a long way to solidifying my opinion that he's completely innocent of the charges. And it was gut-wrenching when they asked for his journal and something inside of him finally clicked. That was kind of gut-wrenching to watch. But it was also weirdly satisfying to me as an observer that it was such a shock and a change of his position. And then add to that his reaction when they said that he's going to have his first hearing in 48 hours. That was someone who was genuinely surprised and didn't seem guilty in the least to me. So it was satisfying from that point of view that his reaction was genuinely worry, shock, and fear. Wow. E-Koala-T, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I was going to be lurking, but I got too angry to not say anything. Those cops were so stupid. My English is not good enough to express how angry I am. Just put a lot of cursey swear words. That'll help. Cursey swear words get the idea across. It was all going so well there until about the last 10 minutes. That was. Folks, get lawyers from the beginning. I don't know if it would have changed this situation if you would have had a lawyer, but it doesn't hurt. Never talk to the police, and certainly never go into a room with them without a lawyer walking in there with you. So I guess that's the end there. That's the end of this. And like I said, it's done more to solidify and prove his innocence to me than what we've seen so far. Oh, and it's me, Josie81. Hey, it's me, Josie81. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Zach is innocent, not guilty. Innocent, listen to Wrongful Podcast. Everybody go listen to the Wrongful Podcast. Episode 5. There might be a little something from me there. It's episode 5, isn't it? There might be a little something from me there in episode 5. But yeah, watch the podcast. I mean, listen to it, I guess. Listen to the podcast. Visit the website if you want more information about this. The podcast is exceptionally well done. And the website is great. There's there's ways to donate to the Zach's fund if that's what you want to do, if you want to support in some way, that's how you can do it. Man, that was actually rough to watch just because of the ending. And probably next Tuesday we'll watch Sadie's questioning by the police to see what she told the police versus what we know and what was presented as evidence later at trial. And see if they seem to be even remotely interested in her as a possible suspect. And I'm going to go out on a limb and guess the answer to that question is no. Solomon, thank you so much for forwarding that video. Thanks to David from MLS for editing out the show and preparing it in its final package the way we got that. Man. Oof. That yeah, I guess I've said enough. I mean, I'm weirdly speechless, but also satisfied yet frustrated, yet kind of disappointed. There's a bunch of emotions that are going through that I wasn't expecting to have out of this. So thanks. It's that's one more thing we've got to look at, and so we'll check out Sadie next week. And David from MLS Law is going to be doing it later on in the evening, I believe. So check out his site. Wow. And for me, tomorrow will be O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson closing arguments. We're reviewing those. We're in the middle of Johnny Cochran's closing arguments. We'll continue watching that for a couple of hours. Then Friday we'll be looking at the case of Virgilio Aguilar Mendez, the Guatemalan kid whose 19th birthday was yesterday. Who, when he was 18 years old, had the snot beat out of him and was tased 6 or 7 times by police officers who had no business stopping him, talking to him, trying to frisk him or detaining him in the first place. And the initial cop that had heart arrhythmia, hardening of the arteries, clogged arteries, hypertension, high blood pressure, bronchitis, and a couple of other problems, back problems. He dropped dead a few minutes after they arrested Aguilar Mendez. And they charged him initially with felony murder of the police officer. They reduced it to aggravated manslaughter of a law enforcement officer. Just because this horribly out of shape bad condition guy who never went to the doctor dropped dead after his arrest. We're going to be talking about that because there's a bond hearing. A bond motion, a motion to reduce his bond from the current 50,000 to 5,000. We'll be reading that, and then we'll also be talking about some other news related to that case and possibly more motions. We'll see. So check in on Friday. That'll be Friday evening, because now on Fridays we don't do the morning show, we do the evening show. And then Saturday, we're going to be doing a special edition of The Unexplained with Flux and Danny on Direct, my compatriots in The Unexplained show, where we're going to be talking to a young lady who, according to her, is suffering from a generational curse and has supernatural experiences happening all the time. So we're going to talk to her and get to hear her story, and that will be on Saturday evening. So stay tuned for those things. Right now, let's go check out what's happening over on other people's channel. Danny on Direct. For some reason, YouTube didn't work yesterday. Let's see if it works today. Go tell Annie Don Direct. Go tell Danny on Direct hi from Legal Vices. Tell her howdy. And mods, thank you so much for being here. Chat, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support. And Solomon, Zenith, thank you so much for your support as we go through here. David, thank you so much for editing the video. And coming in just under the wire, Randa Panda. I know this isn't about Zachariah Anderson, but I was watching you and Danny on talking about Missing 411. You should go check out the Lore Lodge. Lore Lodge is cool. And the Missing 411 is cool. There's a lot of other. We're probably 2 weeks from now, we're going to be talking more about Missing 411 and people that just go missing from places. So stay tuned for that, people. We'll see you tomorrow for OJ Simpson. Just a little chill stream with that. Go tell Danny on Direct hi. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Oh, we forgot to end the poll. Okay, the end of the poll. How do you guys think? Who's the worst character in this? Who's the shadiest character? 10% of you say Judge Headwound is the shadiest. 16% of you say the victim is the shadiest. 31% of you say Sadie is the shadiest. And 42% of you say District Attorney Gravely is the shadiest. So thank you so much for that. Now let's get out of here. Go tell Danny on Direct hi. See you later, folks.